Hey, it's your boy VideoBlobby here with a set review for Forged in the Barrens, but there's big changes afoot because the core set is also something that's rotating. The core set, which has been the same since the beginning of Hearthstone, they decided we want to switch things up more permanently. We're going to have a rotating core set, yes, but one that rotates slower than the actual set rotations, you know? So anyway, we're going to be looking first at the core sets real quick as a whole, not going over each card necessarily. Biting my style on the YouTube intro. Yeah. Listen, this is going to be my second ever YouTube video, so there can be room for improvement. In fact, there must be. All right, let's look at Demon Hunter first. Demon Hunter. So let's see what we've got here. Battle Fiend is solid. Building Block, the Sigil Runner is good. Good to have card draw in the core set. Same with Chaos Strike. Feast of Souls, 2 mana. Now this got buffed, right? It used to be 3 mana, I think. Vaguely playable sometimes at 3 mana. Maybe 2 mana will revitalize it. But look at this. 3 card draw cards in a row here. Demon Hunter is going to be the class of card draw still. Sightless Watcher helps for top decks as well. Demon Hunter's been making a comeback in Arena lately, and I don't know. My Demon Hunter loves card draw, the kind that I like to build. Now let's look at this one here. Corvus Bloodthorn, 2 mana, 2/2, charge lifesteal. After you play a card with Outcast, return this to your hand. Something that would be very easy with like the Sigil Runner. I actually think this card looks dope. It doesn't look super OP. It looks like it'll be fun to play with. I love the idea of it's almost like a head crack that is way more flexible, can do more stuff. But will be less replicatable because you won't have so many Outcast cards in hand. Oftentimes this will be just a 2/2 charge, which is decent enough. Spectral Sight, more card draw, chat. It's all card draw all the way down. The Warblades, solid weapon. Not nearly as solid as the Marrow Slicer, but they have the Warglaves in here instead of the Marrow Slicer. Interesting. Coordinated Strike, really, really strong card if you find some good combos with it. I-Beam is solid. Gunnar Glavesmith, 3 mana, 3/2. Outcast, give your hero +3 attack this turn. That seems, like a better version of Stilt Stepper, maybe? If you know that card. The Battle Lord is nice. Fell Screamer's alright. Chaos Nova's strong. The Warglaves are pretty decent. I feel like these got changed somehow. And now this is the sticker, chat. They take away Inner Demon from the core set, right? They don't put Inner Demon in, but they give us Illidari Inquisitor. 8 mana, 8/8 rush. After your hero attacks an enemy, this attacks it too. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is basically a better King Crush. You put so much damage face. So like overall, I'm looking at these and like, these are good tools to have in the core set. They're strong and powerful tools that will help you get to whatever Demon Hunter gets in every new expansion easily. All this card draw is really nice. The Outcast synergies are pretty nice too. The card quality overall isn't like amazing. Like I-Beam is fine. Feast of Souls is kind of meh. Warblades are fine. The Fell Screamer is like nothing special, you know? And this legendary is like solid and interesting, but not amazing. But it's just this one card here, the Inquisitor, that raises it, I think, in my estimation. So let's think about a score for old Demon Hunter here. It's going to be in the 4 somewhere. I think it's going to be in here somewhere. That one card, that 8/8, I think that elevates it to... Let's see, where am I going to put my scores? could stick that, I don't know, here. I don't know where this should go. Maybe I should look on this window. In fact, let's zoom this in a little bit. Wait, is that wise? No, I'm not gonna fuck with that. Sure. Can the community rank as you rank? Sure, if you want to. I'm gonna call this a 4 out of 5. I think that this makes it extremely good. And it's only a rare too. It's not even an epic. It's not even an epic or a legendary. This is so ridiculous. Some tags: Fell, Demon, Shadow. I don't know that this will be particularly relevant. We'll see, I guess, when we get to the new cards. These tags. So we'll stick that one up at 4. Alright, on to the next. Druid. Innervate, trash. Demon Hunter feels strong for sure. Pounce, trash. Enchanted Raven, it's good, but just like not as powerful as the Demon Hunter shit. Mark of the Wild, fine. It's got a little buff that makes it relevant, you know. Power of the Wild is good. Now, Druid is losing a lot of its powerful tools, as I understand it. Pharaoh Rage, give your hero +4 attack. I mean, that one's not great either. It's okay. It's like a worse Relentless Pursuit. Slightly more flexible. Oh, I should... Wild Growth, so they keep the ramp stuff, right? So whereas the Demon Hunter gets the card draw... Actually gonna take my headphones off because we're not listening to anything anymore. The Demon Hunter gets the card draw, and it looks like the Druid's getting all the ramp, right? And ramp in Arena, I gotta say, not great, in my experience. Some people can make it work, but it's often not great. Nordrassil Druid, the next spell you cast costs 3 less this turn. That's fine. 4 mana, 3/5, fine stats, decent effect. Soul of the Forest is fine. Maybe there's some Treant stuff that can happen. Druid of the Claw, pretty good with the buff, actually. More Treants. This card sucks, unless you have a very particular deck for it. Nourish, again, I mean, this is card draw too, at least, but again, it's this ramp thing. They're trying to make the core of Druid once more. So it seems like they're leaning into like big Druid rather than... Like, there's still some tools for a token Druid, I suppose, but... Maybe they want the token Druids to be Treant based? I don't know. Of course, I'm thinking in Arena, and they're usually thinking in Constructed for design choices like this. Ancient of War, very mediocre. Cenarius is a good card, but it's not enough to make up for all this trash. Honestly, chat, Druid looks awful. The core set of Druid looks awful. I wanna give this a 1. I wanna give this a 1 out of 5. The one like Cenarius, there's some decent stuff, and it's like some decent tempo stuff. It gets you on the board, the Raven, the Power of the Wild. But overall, I want to give that a 1 out of 5. Yeah, agree. It looks super bad, so let's put our Druid Womp down here. Although, I guess... Wait, how is this? So, 5 and 4.5. Or maybe, so 5s go here. 4 to 4.5. How should we do this? That means we should add 0, right? That means we should add 0. That's the way to make this make sense. So this is only for perfect 5 scores. It's going to be rare. This is for 4 and 4.5. This is for 3 and 3.5, etc. And this is for 0, 0.5. Okay, good. Druid is low 1. It seems pretty rough. Okay. Hunter. I'll be curious about Hunter. Let's see here. When you gamble 2 units on it, yeah. Arcane Shot, good tool to have. Lock and Load, an epic. Each time you cast a spell this turn, add a random hunter card to your hand. With stuff like Tracking and Arcane Shot, Lock and Load could be an okay way to generate value in a mid-range hunter deck. It feels like, what's that card? Stampede? Where the more beasts you play, you get more beasts. Random hunter cards can be good. I'm not sure about this. I don't think it'll be amazing. Tracking is always solid. It's a way to have a little bit of card draw, a little bit of... Oh, but it's different now. It's discover a card from your deck. So it doesn't get rid of the cards that you don't want. That might make it a little worse. Because the good part is you discover a good card and it keeps that card in your deck. That's the upside. Yeah, it doesn't burn the other two anymore. So that's a downside to me, because oftentimes when I burn the other two cards, I'm saying, these are less important to where I want to be, what I want to be drawing right now, and I don't want to see them. So mixed feelings on that. Web Spinner, happy to have this in the core set. That's like fun, random, good. Explosive Trap, Freezing Trap. These are the secrets. Snake Trap, okay. Explosive, Freezing, and Snake. For attacking in general, for attacking face, for attacking minion. It makes sense that they would have one of each of those qualifications. These are solid secrets. Explosive Trap in Arena tends to be the least useful. Burn is a commonly misunderstood concept. Yeah, I agree, Rossum. I agree. Yeah, like the whole conversation. I remember Shady talking about that. God, what was that card that if you hit it, it would discard 3 cards or something like that? I remember Shady talking about the misconceptions surrounding Burn. Headhunter's Hatchet is a great card, and it encourages beast synergy. It's not even really OP. I'm glad that this is in the core set. That's great. Quick Shot, deal 3 damage. If your hand is empty, draw a card. This is sort of the balm, the replacement for Kill Command, which is coming out of the core set. Kill Command is a lot of damage. It makes sense that they take it out, replace it with something like Quick Shot. Quick Shot can be better than Kill Command in certain situations, so I don't mind. I don't mind it. A Quick Shot. We got the Beaver here, of course. Selective Breeder. Battlecry, discover a copy of a beast in your deck. 2 mana 1/1 is rough, but discovering a beast in your deck, this is better for the late game. This is better for like mid-range hunter or even control. Bear Shark, super solid. Glad to see that card here. So like really mostly solid curve stuff, a few techie things. More solid curve than the Druid had. Dire Frenzy, give a beast +3/+3. Now this card in the past has not been great in Arena, so it'll be interesting to see how it does going forward. It looks like they're really pushing the beast synergies. King Crush is cool to have around, I guess. The High Main is wonderful as always. Deadly Shot. Good tech. What do I think about this Hunter core set? I like it. I like the tools. You're missing stuff like Hunter's Mark. You're missing the Kill Command. But you still got the Deadly Shot. And with things like, I don't know, it looks like they're trying to encourage more curve and beast synergy hunter, a little bit more sustainable hunter, but maybe without the like winning by turn 5 mentality. Yeah, hunter doesn't really want to be in fatigue. Yeah. Interesting point about the Fell Reaver. Okay, so this is like okay. I think I could give it 3. It's not. It's maybe. Is it better than average? That's the question. Because 2.5 is our average. This might be average actually. Because like stuff like Lock and Load is a bit underwhelming. Explosive Trap. Some stuff is a bit underwhelming. Some stuff is a bit nice. Nothing really wild in either direction. So I think I'm comfortable giving this a solid 2.5. And we can come on over here and stick our hunter friend in the 2s, right? Yeah, that's how we did it. Cool, cool. Now I move to a mage. Have I titled this? Can I title this? No. Okay. That's fine. Mage core set. It's tight fitting. The Babbling Book. You know what I actually can do visually to help this out a little bit? Maybe I actually just kind of do this. Oh, not that one. Oh, God. X. This can go here. How about that, right? Make myself a little smaller. Okay. All right, so my love of mage has been restored. All right, well, let's check it out then. The Babbling Book, great card. I like that. It generates a random mage spell. It's not super powerful. It adds a little bit of fun element. It's a good early drop for mage, which mage kind of lacks sometimes. Shooting Star is a solid card. Snap Freeze, okay, they're really going in on the freeze mage, I noticed. So Snap Freeze gets a little better with that. Otherwise, it's a bit underwhelming. Arcanologist draws you a secret. That's fine. We'll see what the secrets are. Fallen Hero, your hero power deals 1 extra damage. I really like this. I think this is, again, a nice early game mage minion, which we're kind of lacking. Arcane Intellect is fine. The Buffed Cock, 1 less mana. That's like, it maybe gets a lot better actually. I'll be interested to play around with this cock. The 3 secrets for mage are Counterspell, Ice Barrier, and Mirror Entity. Ice Barrier is trash. You do not want that in Arena. Like sometimes it comes in handy, but you generally don't want it at all. Mirror Entity is fine. Counterspell is a bit worse. So not great secrets in the core set here. Fireball, excellent, always. Water Elemental, excellent. Flame Strike, buffed Flame Strike, by the way, folks. We're looking at 5 damage Flame Strike here, which I played a little bit with the other day, and it's impressive. Koldara Drake combo with the Fallen Hero. Pog. Use your hero power any number of times. This is just good stats. It's very good stats, and it's a strong ability. The Ethereal Conjurer is an interesting one. Discover a spell. I like the build of this card. I think it's well balanced. And what is this? Egwin the Guardian. Spell damage +2, death rattle. The next minion you draw inherits these powers. So the next minion you draw inherits not only the spell damage, but the ability to pass on the spell damage, which is basically saying I'm going to play a 5 mana 5/5 and have spell damage +2 for if you're able to draw a minion for a very long time, you know. But whether this will survive if you're able to draw a minion, that depends. So I think this is a potentially strong but generally okay card. Flame Strike's going epic, true, so you'll see it less often. That is a factor. So with Flame Strike going epic, that maybe makes this batch a little bit worse. It's around the Hunter territory, where there's some good tools here, but there's some stuff like Snap Freeze or the Arcanologist, Ice Barrier. It's just like meh. The stuff with hero power is cool. Is this as good as Hunter or a little bit better? This might be another 2.5 with the 5 damage flame strike, but it is rarer. Let's call this one Water Elemental is nice. Flame strike was still common. This is an easy 5. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. But it would boost it a lot. Mage is looking alright. Maybe a 3. Maybe we'll call Mage a 3. I think it edges out the Hunter a little bit. But neither have anything really insane. I'm looking forward to playing with this Drake. And the Conjurer is like... It's basically just Steward, you know? Cool. So... that means... the spells and hero power synergy can be super strong, yeah. So we gave it 3, that means it's up here. Everyone in a different number category so far, look at that. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger again. Yeah, that should be fine. Cool. Alrighty. On to the next. Paladin. People are saying that Paladin's supposed to be a powerful one, right? One of the things missing from this review is what is leaving the core set. Yeah, I don't readily have that information. Does someone have a link to that? I don't, but you know, I'm kind of trying to look at what's there rather than what will be missing. Like I don't. It's a good point, ISO. But on the other hand, does it really help us going forward to draft these decks and to draft these classes to know that, for example, Mage got worse? Does that really help us? Not really. It mostly helps us to know how it does compared to the other current classes, right? Yeah, and partially I also don't want to make the efforts. Because we got a long ways to go. Alright, Avenge. This is a good secret. This is a very good secret, and it's almost single-handedly makes Paladin secrets very scary. Now, there is no auto defense here, but between Avenge and Noble Sacrifice. And Reckoning, right? So what is this? After an enemy minion deals 3 or more damage, destroy it. That's good. That's good. It's an epic secret. I like the Paladin secrets. That's maybe the first time I've ever said that, but I like as a batch these Paladin secrets. They're pretty nice. They might be the best batch of secrets I've seen so far. They might beat out the Mage and the Hunter secrets. Because they all do very different things, and they're all fairly powerful swings. Yeah, agreed, Guy Gamble. But hey, maybe this is this patented Blobby Slapdash Arena set review. So, Righteous Protector, that's a powerful one drop. That's a strong one. That's gonna be really annoying. The 1/1 having Taunt and Divine Shield is surprisingly powerful. It's exactly the kind of card you want in Paladin that you can play on turn 1, but you can also play later with an impact on the board. Argent Protector buffed. It was already really good, and it got buffed. Not sure why this card got buffed, but Paladin will take it. Holy Light sucks ass. Nice to see that not all the Paladin cards are going to be powerful. Pursuit of Justice. Give +1 attack to Silverhand recruits you summon this game. So this is like a blanket spell that goes for the rest of the game. And it'll take you a little bit of time to recoup the tempo that you lose by playing this. I think it's an alright card. It depends on your deck. If you get a lot of day at the fairs and stuff like that, then go for it. Pursue that justice. Wildfire. Aldor is top tier. Equality, much better now at 3 mana. Much better back at 3 mana. This card is a soul killer in some circumstances, and we still have the Consecration combo. So this combo is really scary for Paladin to still have. Because Paladin's whole thing is that it makes its board bigger, but it struggles with your board, right? And if you have the Equality Consecration hanging over you, that's pretty scary. 3 mana, 3/4, your Silver Hand recruits have +1 attack. This got buffed and is now really good. It's now really good. 3 mana, 3/4 is crazy good. Just in general. And it's got this wild upside. So they're leaning into the dude synergy. Makes sense. Blessing of Kings, excellent. True Silver Champion, excellent. Stand Against Darkness, fine. Guardian of Kings, it got buffed. 7 mana, 5/7, restores 6 health to your hero. Not unplayable now, but it has Taunt. That makes a pretty big difference, the Taunt. Yeah, so this is a legit card now and is actually going to be really annoying. And Tyrion is incredible. So Paladin's got the nuts. They've got a removal combo. They've got a good buff. They've got a good weapon. They've got a nice secret package. Good curve cards. Good swings with like Aldor. Dude synergy. A bit of AoE. And like bigger cards that can stall out the game in the late game. Holy crap. Paladin is stacked. Is this 5? Is Holy Light the only thing keeping this from being 5? This might be a 5. This is just ridiculous. Actually. I think we're going to call this 5. Even though there is this one shitty card, every single other card is either good or great. And sometimes excellent. Guardian did go rare. I mean, that's fair, yeah. Yeah, you want to give Paladin a 5 as well? I really think that this is... If you're ever going to see a core set or a set like this, that's a 5. I think this is going to be it. This number is centered, technically, but it doesn't look like it because this one is... Okay, that looks better. Yeah, 5 for Paladin. Ridiculously good. Top tier. You know what I should actually do? I should put... Oops, not this. Should do that. Eventually I'll stop fucking with the interface. Pardon my French, YouTube. Yeah, it got taunt and more health. Yeah, so now it's like a legit card. Since we're getting all fancy with the stream production here, you should use presentation mode on Tier Maker while you're at it. Presentation mode on Tier Maker. Presentation mode. Oh shit. Oh. I guess that's better, huh? Cool. Good deal. I didn't know about that. Thank you for the info, Rossum. Learn a little bit every day. Alright, on to the next one. Priest. Alright, now this is one I'm very curious about, because Priest is losing some really important stuff. Thought Steal, Mind Control, you know? That's big stuff. Pardon. So let's see what they cooked up to replace it. Crimson Clergy. After a friendly character is healed, gain +1 attack. I like this card. Solid early game card. Nothing special. Flash heal. I imagine to go with this. Some healing synergy. Pretty crap. All these cards that only heal. I don't know why they keep putting these in the core set. This seems weird to me. Better Light Warden? Yeah. Focused Will. Oh. This Will is not conforming to the gender binary. I guess I shouldn't assume about Will. Alright, Will is nice and focused, and they silence a minion, then give it +3 health. I don't love this. This is, think about nerfed Power Word Shield. Nerfed Power Word Shield was 0 mana, give +2 health. Now, this is not good as a buff. It's okay as a buff. It's not even okay as a buff. It's just kind of a crappy buff for your side. You can think of it as a silence against the opponent, and that's probably how you will usually be using this. It's fine, but it gives them more health, you know? That's kind of crappy. Okay, moving on. Holy Smite, fine. It's a fine card. You are very focused, yeah. Yeah, this you? Focused, Will? Psychic Conjurer. I think this is great. They've got basically one of these in every core set that I've seen, more or less. A cheap card, maybe a 1-mana 1/1 that generates stuff randomly. I like it. And this is your opponent's deck, so it's pretty good. Cold Tyrann Chaplain is good. So it looks to me like they're going for a sort of a health buff model for Priest, rather than the like steal all your opponent's shit and beat them to death with it Priest. Shadow Word Death, important. But no pain, I see. They keep death, but no pain. Interesting. Shadow Form is fine. It's a fun card. I'm glad that it'll be around. It's fun to decide if you can take it and when to use it. Not the most powerful thing in the world, but this is supposed to make up for some of the Priest, like, heavy hitter spells being taken away, I guess. Now you can do more of a tempo Priest. Thrive in the Shadows, discover a spell from your deck. Mediocre so far. Not loving it. Lightspawn got arguably a buff. It's 1 mana cheaper and 1 health lower. I like that. I like that shift. And it goes with all these health buff cards. See, silence a minion and give it +3 health. That doesn't really help with this, huh? For example. Shadowed Spirit, 3 mana, 4/3, Death Rattle, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. Yeah, they're going with this tempo thing. They're trying to make Priest more smorky. I don't love it. I don't love that at all as an identity. People just complained about Priests too much. This is all your fault. Stop complaining about Priest. Priest is fine. Priest dies miserably just as much as it wins embarrassingly. Holy Nova is good. Power Infusion, I guess, makes sense with the whole buff thing. But the good buffs, like Apotheosis, isn't here. Wow. Shower Word Ruin. Shower Word Ruin. The purple and green artwork, yeah, the color palette is pretty nice. I agree with that. Temple Enforcer, great card. Natalie Celine, excellent card. So this like final chunk here salvages the Priest core set a little bit. Destroy a minion and gain its health. I love this card, it's so good. Otherwise, we've got some okay tempo stuff and some really mediocre and bad, underwhelming stuff. Like, what even spells are we... I hope that there's some powerful Priest spells in the expansion, because, geez. I don't like this new Priest, man. I don't like it. I feel like it got deballed. I'm gonna call this one, how many blobs? Oh, honestly, There's some powerful cards here still. I'll give this 2 out of 5 blobs. I was verging on 1.5. But we'll call it 2, yeah. And we... What did we say Hunter was? We said Hunter was 2? I put Priest above Hunter. In terms of that. Would I put Priest above Hunter, though? Because Hunter was solid. Priest is a little wobbly. I honestly might switch those. Celine makes me want to put Priest higher, but it is a legendary. I don't know if this whole health buff thing is going to work. So Hunter, I know, is like solid. Hunter is the like good core mechanic. So I'm actually going to switch those and put Hunter higher. I think Priest is pretty bad. Hunter's solid and coordinated, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's like great, but it's solid and coordinated. I agree with that. Rogue. Let's see what the Rogue's got for us. Backstab. Solid, great card. Useful tool for Rogues to have. Prep. Prep is still bad, but it's epic, so you won't see it as much. Shadow Step. Very niche. Usable, but niche. So maybe they're going with combo, cheap combo stuff, it looks like. The Bladed Cultist, fine. Everything kind of fine so far. Deadly Poison's good. Sinister Strike is bad. So maybe they want to push Aggressive Rogue? Swashbuckler. Here's that 1-mana 1/1 that generates stuff, right? They've got one of these in every core set. I think that's a good choice. Keeps it fun, fresh. Why did Prep stay? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a very roguey card, like a signature roguey card. Maybe they wanted to keep it for that reason. Yeah, Swashbuckler being core is really nice. Cold Blood makes sense. Patient Assassin. With the buff, it's a 1-mana 1/2, or 2-mana 1/2 now. I think that will be very strong, but it is an epic, so you won't see it as much. Vanessa Van Cleave's 2-mana 2/3 combo. Add a copy of the last card your opponent played to your hand. That's very fun. I like that. I like that. I like this a lot. Because you have to combo it, which is inconvenient. You also have to decide when it will be most useful. Also, cool art. Plague Scientist. Now we're getting into the strong stuff. Plague Scientist being around is exactly what Rogue needs. Dirty, dastardly removal. SI7 Agent. Not changed. Solid card. 4-mana 2/5 Assassin's Blade. I don't know, honestly, how this will do. It's just got the same problem. It's only one more attack than the dagger, right? So, like, you get a ton more swings out of it, but how worth it is it? I'm not sure. 4-mana Assassinate is Pog. 4-mana 5/4 Tomb Pillager. Death Rattle, add a coin to your hand. It helps with combos and stuff. So that's nothing to sniff at. It's a well-statted minion with a small upside. I kind of like it. And Sprint. 6 mana, draw 4 cards. For the aggro model, yeah, you need this discounted. Yeah, the blade, you can buff it, right? So that's probably why they offer this as a kind of a platform for buff. Nerf for Vanessa incoming? You think so? It is legendary, though. I'm not sure if this will be OP or not. I'm gonna jury's out that one. This is a very mixed bag, because there's so many cards that are basically irrelevant. Prep, Cultist, Shadow Step, Sinister Strike. You don't really care about these cards. There's some really, really powerful ones, like the Vanessa, the Plague Scientist, Assassinate. Maybe the Assassin also. I think this is very middling, and it might be another 2. I don't think it's as bad as a 1.5. Is it a 2.5? I don't know. I don't think so. These cards are going to clog up your draft. Sinister Strike, etc. We can go 2 with this. You want it to be a 3, but it's a 2 for you again. You think Hunter is better than Rogue is better than Priest? Let's see. Would we put Rogue higher than Hunter here? I think we can keep Hunter ahead of it. I think that's fair. The 2 club. All right, on to the next. Shaman. Shaman. All right, this will be an interesting one. Lightning Bolt, solid. Don't mind that. Novice Zapper. Nice Zapper. Spell damage +1, overload 1. It's a 1 mana 3/2 with 1 overload. Is that any good? I think it's okay. This is basically, I think what they're saying with this is, here's a replacement for spell damage totem. I think cards like this are going to be important in Shaman. It'll be important to find spell damage other ways. Menacing Nimbus, great card. Phenomenal card, actually. The elementals are usually pretty strong. Rockbiter Weapon, not a bad card to have in the mix. Wind Fury is a bit underwhelming. Feral Spirit's better with only 1 overload. Quite a bit better, actually. So I see myself drafting that more. Lightning Storm now deals 3 damage to all enemy minions, no matter what. Which is a good buff, I think. Really nice AoE to have. Mana Tide Totem's fine. Some way to get card draw, at least. Unbound Elemental. A bit subpar. They're trying to add overload stuff, I see. 4 mana 4/5 Draenei Totem Carver. Draenei. Battle Cry, gain +1/+1 for each friendly totem. This is a strongly statted card with upside, so this will be good. Hex, of course. Tidal Surge, Lifesteal, deal 4 damage to a minion. So now it heals more with spell damage, which is somewhat relevant. Doomhammer's around. That's an interesting choice for the weapon. Like, no axe, right? No Stormforged axe, no, well, certainly no Whack-A-Mole. Doomhammer's an interesting choice. Earth Elemental, Fire Elemental, Alakir, all great cards. Overall, I think this edges out some of the last few that we've been looking at. Pretty strong cards, good synergies. Only a few weak points. I think that this might be, it's above average, I think. 3 or 3.5. I like a lot. There were a lot of buffs in Shaman. I like a lot of the buffs here. This deals 4 damage, by the way. That's a relevant buff. You want spell damage totem back? I think strength totem is arguably stronger. Maybe less interesting. I don't know that it's less interesting, though. I think it'll make for some really interesting decision trees. I'm choosing between 3 and 3.5 for the score. The Fire Alley is really nice. I don't know. There's not a lot of like jaw droppers here, but I think everything works really well together. I think I will go for the 3.5 on this one. I think Shaman will be really solid. So let's stick our buddy up here above Mage. 2 more. Warlock. Ritual of Doom. Destroy a friendly minion. If you had 5 or more, summon a 5/5 demon. So this is butt ass. This sucks. Sometimes you'll have to draft it, and then sometimes you will pull it off, but it's not worth it. It's not good. I would say close to unpickable. Flame Imp solid. I guess Possessed Villager is their version of the 1 mana 1/1 that generates something. It's I'm glad to have it. It's an okay card. Mortal Coil really good. Drain Soul with it's got changed, right? It's lifesteal now. Deal 3 damage to a minion lifesteal. Gotcha. Solid. Tiny Knight of Evil, whenever you discard a card, gain +1/+1. Fine, whatever. We're not going to be doing discard in Arena. Good lord. Oh, yeah, they changed that. Okay, so Void Terror has 1 more health now. It's a little buff. I think that makes it better. Because you can play at tempo on empty board very happily now, which is a huge difference. Fiendish Circle is still bad. Hellfire is important and good. Now, the Fellhound is different. It discards your 2 lowest cost cards. I still think it's bad. I still think you don't want to play this card. But that is a very relevant buff. For stuff like this, you know? But when yeah. I mean, this has to be on the board and it's whatever. On the plus side, you can discard Ritual of Doom. Fell Soul Jailer, Battlecry, your opponent discards a minion, Death Rattle, return it. That's a fine and fun ability. It's like totally draftable, but not the best card in the world. Siphon Soul at 5 mana is pretty nice. Dread Infernal's good. Enslaved Fell Lord, 7 mana, 4/10 taunt, also damages the minions next to whomever this attacks. That seems strong. So we're essentially looking at a Vanguard that has Cleave. You won't get the Cleave off often, but sometimes you will, and it'll be powerful. And it's a demon. It can be buffed with like Minari Masher. Twisting Nether is in, and Jiraxis. Jiraxis is interesting. It's kind of hard to pull off Jiraxis in Arena, chat. Although we will continually try. This is a weird one. There's some really powerful stuff here, but it's in the minority, I think. Overall, it's not good. Like, Ritual of Doom is bad. Mortal Coil is good. The rest of this row is pretty underwhelming. Fellhound is bad. Jailer's mediocre. Circle's mediocre. And then we get some good stuff up here. There might be another 2, honestly. Getting a lot of 2s here. It's not quite a 1.5. Jiraxis Nether. Could be a 2.5 for this last row. Could be average. And Siphon Soul is really good too. And Hellfire is really good. Let's maybe call this average. Jiraxis is no longer 15 health. Oh, it just gives you 5 more armor? Oh, that's much better. I didn't know that. Ooh, that changes a lot about Jiraxis. Oh, wow. Maybe that bumps it up to a 2.5. Is this average or below average? Let's call this a 2.5. Might be like a little better than the Hunter. So we stick it there. Interesting, though. Interesting choice. Interesting scoring dilemma. Okay, Warrior. Bloodsail Deckhand, 1 mana, 2/1 Battlecry. The next weapon you play costs 1 less. This is okay. Warrior doesn't have that 1 mana generate card that all the other core sets are getting. Oh my god, are you serious, ISO? But they banned Death Knights from the arena, right? Are they still banned? Will they be discoverable? Or draftable? Frozen Throne coming in? That's a good question. Deckhand's okay. You got a lot of weapons in Warrior, so it's suitable early game. Shield Slam's meh. Whirlwind, meh. It can be important. Armorsmith, meh. Taskmaster, first good card here. Execute, essential. No Coerce, though, which is arguably better than Execute. Keep that in mind. Now we get, so as far as the weapons we get, it's going to be Fiery War Axe and Gore Howl. Interesting. No Sword Eater or any nonsense like that. Just classic weapons. Slam's fine. It's just like all the fine warrior spells. Berserker's really good. It's important to have that card. War Cache. Add a random warrior minion spell and weapon to your hand. I don't know how this will be. Probably similar to Hunter's Cache. Good for Control Warrior. Warsong Commander, 3-mana, 2/3. After you summon another minion, give it Rush. I'll be curious to play around with this, see how it works as a tech card. 4-mana, 5/4 Rush, solid. Brawl, okay. Shield Maiden, I don't really like this. Armor's not that important to take the hit in the stats. And Gore Howl and Gramash, these are great cards. I honestly think this kind of sucks, though. But Warrior Core Set has always kind of sucked. I don't really see what's good about this. Brawl's not great. Gore Howl's good, but sometimes it's too late to play it. Gramash is great, but it's the legendary and it's case specific. And are we really going to be smorking with this core set? I don't know. Mean Streets, Frozen Thrones, and last year's expansions. Gotcha. That'll be the next rotation. I think this is a 1.5. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it for Warrior. Most of the core sets ended up being below average in our score metric here. Maybe that means we had too high hopes. But we did get a 5er, right? We got the Paladin as a 5er. So let's take a look at this now. Here's our core set rankings. Nobody got 0. One class got 5. Paladin. Should take that away. So Paladin clearly on top. Demon Hunter right nipping on its heels. Demon Hunter got some really good stuff. And then you go down a ways, you get to Shaman and Mage. You go down another ways, and you get to the brunt of the classes. All shuffling around at 2 below average. So 4 classes above average, 6 below. It's not actually that skewed. And Warrior and Druid look pretty dire, man. Are you going to review your review in a month? Maybe. Maybe we'll just keep reviewing reviews forever and ever and get meta with it. Yeah, better. Okay, no Frozen Thrones. Gotcha. Oh, Rise of Shadows will be wild. So yeah, this is our... I'll save this and post it later, I guess, but this is our core set tier list. Warrior's gonna be rough. Warrior's always rough. They didn't really give it much help. And then Druid. As much as I complain about playing Druid now, I can still have fun with it. With the new Druid core set, I don't know that it's gonna be that worthwhile to play it much in Arena. There's some Druid lovers who still will. And maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe you can make a good ramp Druid, but it lost so many important tools, like no swipe. Oof. Hunter's solid. I think Hunter's the first one that's like solid, and everything above is like solid core set wise. I think Priest got deballed. I'm excited for Demon Hunter. I'm not excited for Paladin though. I think it's too powerful. The core set's too good. Like, Paladin habitually has been the strong class in Hearthstone history. Why would you make their core set so far and above better than the rest? Maybe I think that the secrets are actually very relevant for how good this is. So with this core set in mind, chat, let's move on to the Forged in the Barrens review. Oh wait, we need to do the neutral core set though. It won't be on our tier list over there, but we need to at least take a peek at them, see what we're playing with. Murloc, Tiny Fin, lol. Okay. Interesting menagerie of 1-drops. The Cogmaster has +2 attack while you have a mech. Interesting that that'll be around. Pushing a bit of mech synergy. Argent Squire, the worst of the version of the Paladin 1-drop. Emerald Sky Talon, 1 mana 2/1 rush. Oh, wow. Flashing back to Hogsteed, having a 2/1 rush is really good. Now, it's not quite as sticky as Hogsteed. It doesn't have the same board presence, but it's cheaper. I think this will be a very relevant card in the meta. Not one of the best by any means, but relevant. Murloc Tidecaller, why is this here? Trying to push Murloc synergies too. These are all fine. This is a fun variety of 1-drops. Swamp Ooze, I guess it's good to have that around for when the weapon classes get too big for their britches. Bloodsail Raider is good. Thalnos is good. Annoyotron's an interesting one. Yeah, the mech synergies might be interesting with Annoyotron around and Cogmaster. And the Sheep. Oh, that's an interesting one too. It'd be fun in Mage. The Alchemist is fun. I like that. Foxtail Freebooter. Battlecry, if you have a weapon equipped to deal 2 damage. Obviously, in some classes, this is completely useless, and in some, it'll be okay. It'll be nice in Rogue. It'll be real nice in Rogue, actually. Geomancer or Loot Hoarder. Ugh, Bomber. Redgill Razorjaw, 2 mana 3/1 rush. Okay. And it's a Murloc. That's actually pretty relevant for certain synergies. Secret synergies. Brightwing's around. That's cool. Why the Razor Leaf, though? Is it just for that new Priest card that silences +3 health? Maybe that's why it's here. Ice Rager. Poor Magma Rager. Swamp Ooze is rare now. Oh, I guess so. I think that's a good change. Because it is a tech card, right? And you don't want to be swimming in tech cards. That can get annoying. Cold Light Seer, somehow unchanged. Flesh Eating Ghoul gets a buff. That's good. That's a smart buff. Appropriately power crept. It's always cracked me up that himself is capitalized on here. Raid Leader gets a buff. I'll have to remember that and not pass up Raid Leader. Mini Mage. This might be okay. I think it's kind of bad, though. Lone Champion. This is going to be a meta shaper. This card is very, very successfully anti-aggro. So maybe we'll see a more of a return to control. Lone Champion is good for certain kinds of decks. I don't know. It's going to be so hard against aggro. Spider Tank, Pog. The Basilisk. This one's going to be annoying as hell, chat. Not going to lie to you. Basilisk is just really obnoxious. And classes like Priest are counters to Basilisk, but sort of. I mean, ping classes are the real counters, but Priest has a lot of ways to deal with the Basilisk. Or also play a Basilisk and make it better, but I don't know about any more, though. Baron Rivendare, sure, whatever. Big Game Hunter, cheaper, Pog. Maybe actually pickable tech now. Necromancer, fine. Manipulator's strong. Oh, Overlord Runthak as a neutral, legendary? Interesting. Berserker's legit a little bit pickable now, I think, with the extra health. I don't know why that health made so much of a difference, but it feels like it did. Taunt, Divine Shield, Death Rattle, draw your highest cost minion. Interesting tech card. It'll be hard to pull this off well, but in certain decks, I can see it. Draw that Mind Control that you... Oh, never mind. It's not a minion. Oh, never mind. It's not even in the meta. Karen buffed. Pog. Stormwatcher. All right. Now these new dragons are ridiculously powerful. Not this one so much, but these got buffed. Geddon will be pretty powerful now, I think. Interesting that sticks around. Choose a character. If it's friendly, restore 8 health. If it's an enemy, deal 8 damage. This is ridiculous. I hate this. Ugh. Buffed. Not sure if it'll be good. Buffed. This is a smart buff. I think it'll be good for aggressive decks to have this be more pickable. Sleepy Dragon, that's an annoying one, especially for Priest. Priest is gonna have a hard time, man. Himself. Reminds me of Barricade. Yeah, that's a good comparison. You had Geddon and you weren't happy? I think Geddon was fine. Like, it was still good the way it was before. Draw spells until your hand is full. Blah. At the end of each turn, you fill your board with 1/1 whelps. There's no reason that these had to be as powerful as they came out, but whatever. Destroy all other minions, discard a card for each destroyed. See, like, it's just better. They're just better than their old versions. Add one of each dream card to your hand. Battle Cry, so good. Clockwork Giant, that's an interesting one to put in. I wonder why. I guess for the mech synergies, huh? So they're really pushing the mech stuff. Interesting. Alright, time to go to Forged in the Barrens, chat. All right. We'll do a similar thing that we did before. We'll go through each class in order and kind of do a tier list ranking of them, as per somebody's suggestion earlier. Blobby's least favorite card is New Nas. Oh, there are worse. There are worse. Anything else we want to do special before jumping into it? I don't think so. Maybe we should look at the neutrals first to give us some idea of what the cards surrounding the class cards are. That will help us do a better class card review. Can we do a found poem? What do you mean, deformed poet? What do you mean by that? Can we do a found poem? Oasis Thrasher, talented arcanist, Ratchet Privateer. All right. Oh, but we're gonna review. So now we review each card, right? So we'll take a peek at each more specifically, and we'll review all of these. Far Watch Post, 2 mana, 2/4, can't attack. After your opponent draws a card, it costs 1 more, up to 10. So it just sits on the board. This new Watch Post thing, they don't attack, they sit there and they do stuff. This makes your opponent's draws more expensive, which is annoying, but like, unless you could protect this, I don't know that it's that amazing. You want me to sort by mana cost? I guess that's fine. What is it even sorted by now? Am I... Oh, you gotta click this, I guess. Is this the only way to do this? It's kind of dumb. I guess we can just click through. Is there no way to just click sort by mana costs for all of them? Whatever. We could do it by rarity. Whatever. I don't know, man. clear that filter and then sort by it on the right side. On the right side. I don't know what you mean by that. Clear that filter, then sort by on the right side. Sort by on the right side. I think you're missing a word there. Most recent. Sort by. Oh, there it is. Of course. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, we're doing it this way. Okay, Kindling Elemental. This will be our first one. 1 mana, 1/2, Battle Cry. The next elemental you play costs 1 less. One mana, 1/2 is not great. If you have a large elemental deck, it might be vaguely worth it. I feel like this is like a 1. I don't really see the huge use of a card like this. Unless you specifically build a very elemental focused deck, which should be hard unless there's a ton of synergies. It's a reverse overload. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think the discount is particularly worth it just to waste a card. Like if you play it in the early game, it's okay, I guess. Maybe a 1.5. We'll call it there. All right, Farwatch post. This is what we were talking about before. These posts that don't really do nothing. This one, again, the opponent's. The opponent's cards costing 1 more is a bit annoying. 2 mana, 2/4 is decent stats for them to run into. I don't love this. I will give this maybe a... Do I want to even give it a 1.5? I mean, they still have to trade into it. 2 mana, 2/4. I hate the up to 10. Meaning that you can't like make a minion 11. You hate that you can't make a minion 11. Or you just hate the wording. No, we're calling this a 1. We're calling this a 1. I don't think you want to draft this super often. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong and have to reevaluate later. Heckle Fang Hyena. 2 mana, 2/4. Battlecry. Deal 3 damage to your hero. 2 mana, 2/4. Good stat line. 3 damage to your hero. That's a cost that in some decks you won't mind taking. I'm going to call this average, actually. We'll call this a 2.5. I like the stat line, and in certain decks, you won't mind at all taking that damage. And in those decks, the extra stat on the health might be most relevant. I'm thinking Hunter decks, or Warlock's a bit rough. Maybe Demon Hunter with some lifesteal. 0.5 on what? The Heckle Fang or the Watchtower, you think? What did I give this one? Did I just give it a 2.5? I think I did. The tower. The Hyena's pretty good. Yeah, Hyena is solid, I think. Alright, Lushwater Mercenary. Murloc. 2 mana, 3/2. Battlecry, if you control a Murloc, gain +1/+1. So we're looking at a 2 mana, 3/2, which is not a good stat line. But there's a decent amount of Murloc synergy out there. And if you, and this is Murloc synergy itself, if you control a Murloc, you know, there's fishy flyers everywhere. Even like Rockpool Hunters and Crab Riders, right? Gain +1/+1, so that's a 2 mana, 4/3. I think this is probably a 2. It's like super solid with a slight upside. They really stopped thinking about how to name commons. Yeah. There's a formula that we're discovering here. Lushwater Scout. After you summon a Murloc, give it +1 attack and rush. 2 mana, 1/3. Now, 2 mana, 1/3, that's stats you don't really want to have. And at this point, now there's a huge difference between these two cards, chat, because they're both synergy cards, but this one's generally fine to play. And this one you don't really want to play out without the synergy. Plus, some Murlocs have Rush already, right? I think this is quite bad. I think this is 0.5. Maybe you'll draft it if you have a Mega Murloc deck, but I think otherwise this is quite bad. The other Jason, do you mean, are you asking how is Lushwater Mercenary not average? I think it's slightly below average. That's how it's not average. Because you don't really want to be playing a 2 mana 3/2 these days. The power creep has happened such that 2 mana 3/2 is, I would say, pretty significantly below average. And then the ability, I think, bumps it up a little bit, but it's still below average. Parade Leader fucked with a Murloc. Yeah. They aren't scraping the bottom of the barrel left on fish puns, though. Oh, they got plenty more where that came from, I'm sure. Oasis Thrasher, 2 mana, 2/3. Frenzy, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. Frenzy is, I believe that if it's when it takes damage, right? Yeah, after this survives damage. Survive is important. It's not just takes damage, it survives damage. Now, 2 mana 2/3s are often trading in the early game on the board and surviving. It'll almost certainly only happen once. But 3 damage, I mean, 2 mana 2/3 Beast is already solid. It's a River Croc, right? Plus a little bit of upside. I'll put this in the same barrel of like 2. I would say still below average, just by a little bit. But in certain classes, like Hunter, really nice, as you say. How's the Frenzy mechanic work? If a minion takes damage and survives, then it procs the effect. Peon, 2 mana 2/3 Frenzy, again. Add a random spell from your class to your hand. Now this is better, I think, than this. Because 3 damage to the enemy hero is often negligible. But a random spell is always very welcome. It might be trash, but very likely to be treasure. I like this card, the Peon. It doesn't have a tag the way that this does. I think this will be at least a 2.5. Maybe a little higher. A random spell from your class. Like, you can very often get value trades with a 2 mana 2/3. Not always. Not always. It can be a 4. I don't think it's as good as a 4, but definitely higher than 2.5. I'm thinking 3 or 3.5. Random spell. And, like, often you won't be able to get this Frenzy, is the thing. Like, if you're not playing Peon in the early game, it's very likely to not be able to get the Frenzy off. They have a lot of stat lines to encourage Frenzy mechanics. That makes sense. What if the random spell was Sinister Strike? Yeah, right, exactly. You get your 3 damage faces. Only once, like Spell Burst. Yeah, right. I'm going to give this a 3. I think there will be much more powerful cards down the line. Can you ping it to get a spell? You could, yeah. You could do that. You are so tight. Thank you. Talented Arcanist, 2 mana 1/3 Battlecry. Your next spell this turn has spell damage +2. This is bad. Again, you don't want the 2 mana 1/3 line, and spell damage is wildly varying as to when it's going to be useful. I think this is a 0.5. some limited use in Arena, but I think generally you're not going to want this. Toad of the Wilds. That's what the Legend of Zelda sequel is going to be called, right? 2 mana 2/2 Taunt Battlecry. If you're holding a nature spell, gain +2 health. Now this is where these spell tags come into play. Let's first think about without the Battlecry, without the upside. It's a 2 mana 2/2 Taunt Beast, which is just bad, right? We have a neutral 2 mana 3/2 Taunt, and it's not a particularly good card. The +2 health would make it a lot nicer, a 2 mana 2/4 Taunt, but I feel like it's going to be relatively rare, your opportunity to proc it. I think I want to give this 1. And, you know, a tiny taunt can be useful, right? So it's definitely not less than 1. But I think I want to give this a 1. Barrens Trapper, 3 mana 2/4. Your Death Rattle cards cost 1 less. Very particular kind of synergy here. Again, a bad stat line. The Death Rattles being cheaper could be okay. I want to give this a 1 as well. Sort of a similar deal. You don't really want to be playing with this, but you can make it do in a pinch. Coin that into Fishy. It's not a bad play, but if this just dies... I don't know, if you're coining it, you would be coining... Well, you don't coin this into Fishy, because it's a 3 cost. Oh, then it'll be 3 cost. So coining 3 into 3. It's a certain style. Yeah, I guess so. You could argue for 1.5 on this. But I don't like the very particular synergy picks. Also, its hand kind of fucked up. Got like 3 thumbs. Yeah, just bad art. What is it even? It's laying a trap, but it's not evocative. Like, you can barely tell what this is. Ugh. Anyway. Crossroads Gossiper, 3 mana 4/3. After a friendly secret is revealed, gain +2/+2. In some classes, this could be pretty solid. 3 mana 4/3, fine stat line. The upside is pretty decent. In Paladin or Hunter, especially, I feel like this is going to be quite good. And you don't hate playing it as a 4/3 at all. Chain that with Pack Tactics. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. I want to call this 2.5. This is like average. It'll be very playable. Death's Head Cultist, 3 mana 2/4. Taunt, Death Rattle, restore 4 health to your hero. So this is a poor man's lone champion, I guess. 1.5. At least it's taunt, right? At least it's taunt. It has that going for it. And the healing could be okay if you're in a control kind of a situation. Hog Rancher, 3 mana 3/2, Battlecry. Summon a 2/1 hog with Rush. I kind of dig this one. We were just talking about how useful a 2/1 Rush can be. So you're playing a 3 mana 3/2, but you're also getting a bit of removal out of it. It's sort of like, you could think of it like a slightly worse effect of the Phoenix. And this is 1 less mana for 1 less stat. I really like this card. I think this is going to be a meta definer. +1 if the hog art is cute. Oh, it must be, right? I'm sure it will be. Oh, we can find out. It's just, yeah, that's pretty cute. I admit that. Usually a much better Spring Rocket. I'm thinking this is gonna be 3.5. Almost a 4. We haven't had any really powerful cards. I imagine they're reserving those for the class cards, right? Horde Operative, 3 mana, 3/4, Battlecry, copy your opponent's secrets and put them into play. What? Now, the only bad thing about this is that your opponent will be able to play around these secrets because they'll know what the secrets are, right? You witness 30 to 50 of them, you won't be calling it cute. True. This card is dope. 3 mana, 3/4, good stats. I would imagine it should at least be a 3 mana 3/3 or something. Copy your opponent's secrets. There's no downside to this. Four, at least. At least a 4. At least a 4. Do we want to verge on 4.5? I don't know. Probably not. This is going to be a 4. This is a 4. It won't matter very often, true, but you're very happy to play it as a 3 mana 3/4. That's a stat line that I love. Maybe my favorite stat line, actually. Mancrick. Mancrick, 3 mana 3/4. Battlecry, help Mancrick find his wife. She was last seen somewhere in your deck. Oh, he looks so sad. Poor Mancrick. Mancrick's wife. Olga, casts when drawn, summon a 3/10 Mancrick who immediately attacks the enemy hero. The wording on this is just so bizarre. But basically you play this and then wait to draw the wife, which summons a 3/10 that attacks their face. That's good. 3 mana 3/4 is very good. Spider Tank with an upside. Yeah, the last 2 cards have been very much that. You think Peon is better? Maybe. I'm not sure, but maybe. That's the kind of card that nobody drafts because they read the text and feel like it's useless, but the stats are great. Yeah, right? Like, there's so much to be said for the stat line, beyond the flashy abilities. This ability has no downside, and the upside is actually pretty steep. I think I might want to give this a 4.5. Our first neutral legendary here. Mancrick, I think, is dope. Okay, our second watch post. How many new cards are there? Including the core set, someone said like 300 something. The art is pretty dull. Yeah, they really could have done a lot better. I like how sad he looks, but otherwise, pretty lame. A lot of these neutrals are pretty like dirty, ugly cards. Like this, like come on. Not very interesting. Morshan Watch Post, 3 mana 3/5, can't attack after your opponent plays minions. Summon a 2/2 grunt. Yeah, these are like made for that priest spell again that silences and gives plus health. 370 total? Christ. Yeah, Le Papillon Noir or anyone else who wants to. I've put our first episode of The Pit on YouTube for everyone to enjoy at their leisure. Please let me know in the comments on YouTube or on Discord or whatever what you think about it. Any thoughts or feelings? After your opponent plays a minion, summon a 2/2 grunt. This could be good. This could be good. This one actually I think could be much better than the other watch post we've looked at. Because unless you have a spell to remove it, if you're ahead on board, they have to play minions. It's like a more aggressive Ogremancer, right? They have to play minions to deal with this. So I actually kind of like this. This card? Interesting. Game-breaking good. Do I think it'll be game-breaking good? It's a 3 mana 3/5, chat. That's really good. And like it may not be able to attack, but it's actively doing something. It's gonna be at least a 4. Grunts aren't stopping face damage. They're not taunt or anything. Man, maybe you get this down early and it's basically GG. Let's call this a 4.5. I'm not fully sold on best card in the new set or anything, but I think that this will be very, very annoying in some circumstances. It'll very often be an insta-win. And other times will be just kind of a wet fart. But the stats are good, though. The stats are good. Ratchet Privateer, 3 mana 4/3. Battlecry, give your weapon +1 attack. Standard, solid. We'll call that a 2.5, I think. A little slightly lower than average stats, but with an occasional good upside. Does it really need to attack if it's gonna does the Watchtower really need to attack if it's gonna dominate the board, though? Like, if Ogremancer couldn't attack, it would still sometimes be okay, you know? And it's way cheaper. Nice, Le Papillon Noir. Good luck in your studying. A better Desert Obelisk. They're going hard on this 3 mana 3/4 stat line. Last meta, a few metas, they haven't had many, but they're coming out with a whole bunch of them. Maybe that will change how good that stat line is, actually. Sunwell Initiate, 3 mana 3/4, Frenzy, gain Divine Shield. Ooh, this is kind of like a slightly less good Goody 2 Shields, right? You run into something and get a Divine Shield. That's extremely good. I want to call this a 4.5. Poor Scarlet, yeah. Well, someone came into chat the other day saying Scarlet Crusader feels really bad and deserves a buff, but I don't think so. I think it's still a functional card, despite these power creeps. Venomous Scorpid, 3 mana 1/3 poisonous. Battlecry, discover a spell. What the fuck? Whoa, wait a minute. Common? Neutral? What is with the poison metas that are gonna happen? If we got the core set, we've got Rogue is getting some good poison minions. The core set's gonna have the 1/1 Divine Shield poison. And this is gonna be a neutral common? Poisonous, discover a spell. Like, think about discover a spell. Like, 3 mana discover a spell plus discount is that pre-spell palm reading. This gives you a poisonous body on top of that. I'm tempted to give it a 5. Why is a scorpion discovering spells? That's a good question. Maybe it's like hallucinogenic. Maybe it has to do with the poison. Oh yeah, Dalaran Crusader, that like solid, average seeming card that ended up just kind of being better than everyone thought it would be, because it was like a really good in the curve. You can pick this over Proto. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. I kind of want to give this a 5, chat. I think this might be our first 5. It's got, oof. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this card, to be honest with you. But it's gonna be good. Blade Master Samuro. Rush. Frenzy. Deal damage equal to this minion's attack to all enemy minions. There's a lot of hand buff stuff coming in, right? Some, at least. It's even, like, okay just as a 1/6. This feels like maybe a 4 to me. Nice little like board clear option with potential upside of like giving it more attack. Another watch post, Crossroads watch post, 4 mana 4/6, can't attack. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, give your minions +1/+1. It's fine. I mean, your opponent just has to not cast spells, though, which isn't always the hardest thing in the world to do. I don't think it's a 0. It's still a 4 mana 4/6. It's not good, though. They can ignore it, right? Yeah, I mean, the hand buff helps it, but you don't need the hand buff to make it good. This card, I mean. You're right about that, ISO. The weakest post. I'll give it a 0.5. Like, you gotta have stuff on the board, and they have to play a spell, and, you know, they're just not gonna play spells if it's not advantageous to them, right? Dark Spear Berserker. 4 mana, 5/7. Death Rattle. Deal 5 damage to your hero. 4 mana, 5/7 is a hell of a stat line for a common card. It's a heck of a hell of a stat line. I would take that. In certain decks where I'm not worried about my health total, I will take that 5 damage for sure. Millhouse out of core set, Sag. I'm picking this every time. I might not pick it every time, Rasum. Because there are some decks that are going to be trying to survive, but most of the time I'll pick it. Sometimes you won't be able to play it, but usually it'll be super solid. I think this will be shockingly oppressive a lot of the time. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, and again, taking damage, like, health is a resource. This is at least a 4. Let's call it just a 4 because of the downside, but mostly because it doesn't have initiative. Let's call it a 4 because it doesn't have initiative. Initiative is so important these days. Gruntled Patrons. The turtle, a 3/5 on 3 that did the same thing. I don't know. Hey, Resonance. We're talking about the new set now. This is our tier list of the new core sets for all the classes, for those who missed it. Paladins got the best by far, then Demon Hunter, and then trailing at the bottom are Warrior and Druid for the core sets. Now we're going through the new expansion. Yeah, pretty good art here. I definitely buy that he's gruntled. Frenzy, summon another gruntled patron. This is a reference to another card, right? There's another 3/3, expensive 3/3 that you can summon a copy of. You thought Druid had great cards? Are you in the core set? Because I think not in the core set. They've mostly got like ramp and mediocre curve minions in the core set. Maybe in the expansion they have great cards I haven't seen yet. Grim Patron. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Oh yeah, Ornery Tortoise. Right, the tortoise. I liked the tortoise, right? I liked the tortoise. And arguably, this minion is better than the tortoise. For several reasons. People ignored the tortoise, but I thought it was super pickable. People were scared of the tortoise. The Tour de France. This one's not going to proc much. I actually don't like this card. Now, it does say summon another gruntled patron, which is different than a copy. It's better than a copy. So if you've got ways to proc this, like Cruel Taskmaster is going to be in Warrior, a very good card for... Warrior's going to have a lot of good cards for Frenzy, I think. Frenzy will be a very Warrior-focused ability. Mage also, because they can ping. But this card, I don't think I like this card. Like, if you're a mage, you play this, you ping it. That's 6 mana for a 3/2 and a 3/3. That's not great. I'll give it a 1. Yeah, the difference is this one is a Death Rattle. You could silence it. Yeah, that's one of the ways that it's better, I think. Injured Marauder. Taunt. 4 mana, 5/10. Battlecry deals 6 damage to this minion. So if this is something you can somehow get out of your hand, like summon it without playing it, that's amazing. But generally, it'll be a 4 mana, 5/4 taunt. that you can then heal, which is good. It's a good card. 4 mana, 5/4 taunt. We have better stats than the damaged Stegodon. Stegatron, whatever. Oaken Summons. Oh, good lord. Nether Spite Portal. Ugh. Yeah, when this gets randomly generated on the board, it's going to be really, really sad. Let's say 4 mana, 5/4 taunt. Let's call this a 2.5. I think that's pretty average, pretty solid. Kazakus Golem Shaper. 4 mana, 3/3. Battlecry. If your deck has no 4-cost cards, build a custom golem. Custom golem. Well, I don't know what that's gonna mean. So, shrug? I'm sure it'll be good. How easy is it for your deck to have no 4-cost cards? Not that easy. So, honestly, unless the ability is super, 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 super OP, this is going to be like a 0.5. I hovered over them. They seem to be just kind of neutral, you know, yeah. Yeah, mostly constructed card. 0.5 for Arena. Sorry, Kazakus. South Sea Scoundrel. Epic. 4 mana, 5/5. Battlecry. Discover a card in your opponent's deck. They draw theirs as well. So basically, you're giving both you and your opponent... I think this card's interesting. I like this. And it's a pirate. It's a more expensive pirate. That's interesting. Yeah, this design idea is really cool. I agree, Resonance. I agree, Guy, that it's definitely possible to have no other 4-cost cards in deck, but it's still not a good card because you don't want to be drafting for that synergy at the expense of things like Scorpid or Fireplume Phoenix or Fishy Flyer, you know? It's like 4-cost cards right now, at least, are some of your more important cards, in my opinion. Don't they usually get to use that card first? Well, it's kind of up to you, right? If you discover, you can choose to discover a cheap card that you can use first. You can choose to discover a more expensive card that you know that you have a counter for, right? So putting the agency in your hands as to what both you and your opponent will get, I think will sometimes put you in tough situations. But a lot of times, I think this will be a high skill threshold card. A lot of times you'll be able to figure out what will help you squeeze the most value out of the situation while also minimizing your opponent's ability to squeeze value out, right? And that's why I think this is very interesting and also quite good. It's also overstated, 4 mana, 5/5. So given all those things, I actually want to call this like a 4. I think sometimes it'll screw you, but the vast majority of the time, you're going to be coming out on top here if you play smartly. Grifta, yeah! What a cool card. Spirit Healer, 4 mana, 3/6, good stat line. After you cast a holy spell, give a random friendly minion +2 health. You love to... I mean, this is an epic. You love to play a 4 mana, 3/6. I think that's the bottom line for this card. And if you happen to be casting holy spells... Great, bonus. And pretty good bonus, too. So we'll call this... Call this like a 3. Verging on 3.5. It's just a solid stat line, you know? Librams? Yeah. Barrens Blacksmith. 5 mana, 3/5. Frenzy. Give your other minions +2/+2. This is only going to work in certain decks. It's a pretty bad stat line. If it gets eaten up by like a 5/5 or whatever, kind of sucks. Yeah, I feel like I really feel like this is gonna be a hard one to get to work. Again, are they gonna offer that kind of card in classes that have no class spells of that kind? Yeah, I think they probably will, in which case you look at it like a 4-mana 3/6 and are generally fine with that anyway. Because remember, like, what is it? The Monk? Kobold Monk? That was a great card. Priest of the Feast? That has an upside, but even without the upside, good card. This, I don't know. I think this is a 1. I don't like this card. Some decks will be built around this card, and will be able to make it work. But in general, probably don't want to draft this. Burning Blade Acolyte. 5 mana, 1/1. I was going to say counter to Firelands Portal until I read it. Death Rattle. Summon a 5/8 demon spawn with taunt. So what matters here is how prominent Silence is going to be, I guess, right? Because like an Earthshock just kills this outright, which is hard. But if you can pull it off, summon a 5/8 demon spawn with taunt. That's pretty decent stats. So the delay is not great. This is sort of like an egg in that sense. But you'll be able to attack, and the thing that comes out has taunt, which is really important. Let's take a peek at what the related card looks like. Okay. I think this is so slow, though. Yeah, that's big. Priest not having Shadow Madness, right? That's a big one. Another hugely important Priest tool lost to that class. Owl that crap. Silence, fan. Silence is always pretty good. I love me some Silence. I want to give this... I don't know. Let's call it a 2.5. Quick restroom break, chat. Be right back. Two units? Yeah, I thought about giving it a 2. Will Priest still have the 3 mana 3/3 battle cry, destroy a friendly minion, return it to life with full health? That's not an arena right now. It's not in the core set, so Wretched Reclaimer. Tearing it, maybe. Gold Road Grunt. Man, get some more inspired designs on these cards. Yeah, I don't know, man. Kind of boring. I really liked the Dark Moon Fair designs. Anyway, Gold Road Grunt, 5 mana 3/7 taunt, frenzy, gain armor equal to the damage taken. Is 5 mana 3/7 a good stat line for a taunt? We know that 5 mana 3/6 is bad, because that's a Fen Creeper. That road don't look gold to you? Barely. I mean, I can barely see some goldish stuff down here. Like, think of how gold road grunt, and the concept is a big dude holding a shield about to smash people with it on a golden road. Imagine how cool that could look. Just, like, take a moment to imagine. And then see the reality of how cool this doesn't look. I think that the stats are not great. And the ability, the Frenzy ability, it can help you survive in a pinch. At least this survives a Claw Machine. I'm going to put this at 1.5. More pickable than some of the ones we've been seeing, but... maybe it has sick gold art, yeah. Razor Mane Raider, 5 mana, 5/6 Frenzy, attack a random enemy. That could be useful. Like if you want to attack the 1 minion left on board, you can value trade and go face, right? I kind of dig this. It's good stat line. There's no downside to it. I dig this minion. I'm gonna give it a 3. Might be even better than that, actually. We'll see. Shadowhunter Vol'jin, legendary, 5 mana, 3/6, Battlecry. Choose a minion, swap it with a random one in its owner's hand. Oh, shit. But you can do this with your own minions, is the thing, chat. Turn 5, you can get out a Scrapyard Colossus or something. Yeah, you would need a Broom to make it a 5 mana, 5/6 charge. This one, I mean. But this with Broom is really, really good. Broom won't always be around, though. It's not core set, right? At first I was like, there's a random element here that I don't love, but you can control that for yourself. And maybe even sometimes you play it on an empty board for the stats. I don't know. But I feel like your opponent plays a Proto Drake and you use this on it, like, pretty likely to be good for you. And you might pull stuff that has battle cries, right? Yeah, if you have to be careful though, because if you, as you say, Resonance, if you Vol'jin like an enemy 5-trop, then you could get into deep shit. So that's probably not the way to use this. I'm not sure about this one, but I'm willing to be cautiously optimistic. How does it work on an empty hand? That's a good question. I assume that it's just like a sap? Yeah, yeah. The thing is, you have to pick very particular moments for this card. And you're going to have to hold it for a very long time, I think. But there's potential for playing it with yourself, right? On yourself. I'm going to call this, like... I'm going to call this a 2 with a huge upside. Because I think that very often in the arena, you're going to be frustrated by this card. But if you draft well around it, and you wait for the right moment, it's going to work out for you, I think. 3.5 for you. I might be severely underestimating it, but I'm just trying to think. You don't want to use it on opponent's minions until the late game, right? Otherwise, you might be pulling Proto Drakes and stuff. You don't want to use it on your own minions, except in very particular hand draw situations where you've drawn your late game, right? And where you have at least one minion surviving on board. If you don't have both of those conditions set up, then this is basically a dead card, or it's just a 5 mana 3/6. So I'm thinking most arena situations, it won't be viable. That's why I give it a 2. But it definitely has a huge, huge upside, and I might be totally wrong about that score. Taurajo Brave. 6 mana, 4/8 Frenzy. Destroy a random enemy minion. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, it definitely is a late game swing, but you gotta draft a deck which can get you comfortably to the late game. Good against Hysteria? No kidding. Yeah, this is kind of bonkers in Arena. I think you're right, Resonance. This is terrifying. This is terrifying, chat. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 5. I think this is gonna be rough. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless, honestly. If you don't have single target removal, presumably it's going to take at least 2 hits into this. If you hit into this, it might kill the other minion that you needed to kill this. I'm so scared of this card, chat. Woof. Woof. Kargal Battlescar, 7 mana, 5/5. Easy to go around if you have stuff in hand. I don't know, man. If you got the right stuff, sure. I don't know, man. Legendary, Battlecry. Summon a 5/5 Lookout for each watch post you've summoned this game. The Lookout, it's just a 5/5. This is super niche. So, 0.5. You're not going to want to draft this. Occasionally, you might be able to pull it off. You just Vulgin it? Yeah, right. Primordial Protector. Draw your highest cost spell. Summon a random minion with the same cost. Oh, shit. This is one that you need to have the draft for, and when I say that, I normally mean that most of the time you won't be able to pull it off. But it will be very easy to know when you have the draft for this. No mind control. No, mind control is dead, my friend. If the spell costs 5 or more, this will be pretty good. Yeah, I agree. I think this is quite strong. You might draw your high cost spells, but even if you get like a 3 cost spell or something. Look at the card text. Okay. Draw your highest cost spell, summon a random minion with the same cost. Okay, I looked at it. Oh, you mean this? I thought the shape of water meant something else. Yeah, I meant fish fucking. Y'all see that movie, the fish fucking movie? Pretty good. Some Guillermo del Toro action. Why am I always out of frame today? I don't know what it is. I'm off the beaten path. Yeah, this is good though. I'm gonna call it a 4. Some decks will be too light to properly use it. But I'll call it a 4. Oh, that's it. Hey, we got through the neutrals. Seemed like too much sappy romance for me. It was not just sappy romance. It's a movie that juggles a lot of different genres and tones. So there is sappy romance. It's not even that sappy though. There's romance, horror, thriller, like Oscar bait drama, comedy. These are all bundled up into one very peculiar package. Not my favorite movie, but I think it's a pretty good one. The romance is not that sappy. It's more perverse, I think, actually. It's pretty perverse romance. Alright, that was our neutral cards. Can't really put neutral cards in a tier list, so let's head on over to our first class, Demon Hunter. So we will be keeping in mind how the class in general is doing for our tier ranking, and we'll also rate each of these cards. What were the 0-star cards for you? I haven't been keeping track. Have we had any 0s yet? Maybe one. We've had a few 0.5s. Fish fucking knows not just one genre. True. Yeah, the can't attack. Well, some of the can't attack. The one can't attack card is really, really good, actually. Alright, we are in Demon Hunter. Sigil of Silence. Fish fucking is usually stuck in the comedy genre. Speaking of that, chat, I highly recommend a movie called The Mermaid for y'all. Came out a few years ago. It's a Chinese film made by I believe the fellow who did Kung Fu Hustle. That's another genre-bending one. I highly recommend The Mermaid. I think that's a hilarious movie. Also, full of really great sappy romance. And, arguably, fish fucking. Okay. Keeping it PG-17. Sigil of Silence. At the start of your next turn, silence all enemy minions. What the hell is this? This sucks. Oh my god, this is so bad. Delayed silence? It's like corruption, or like corrupting mist, but it only silences, it doesn't kill. Chat, I think this is a big goose egg. I don't think you ever draft this. I think it's way worse than even, like... What's it called? 4-mana priest spell. Silence the enemy's board, draw a card. I think it's even worse than that. By like a fair margin. I think there's a big goose egg. Fury, rank 1. Right, they're these ranked cards. Yeah, I gave this shit a 0. Can you imagine a use for this? I can't, really. It guarantees that you'll be able to hit face. Okay. Okay, I guess I could see that. Maybe it's a 0.5, huh? I don't think you draft this, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with my score. I see what you're saying, Frank, and that is a use for it, but... 0.25? Yeah, right. Yeah, you can get it from Scribe. It's a kind of a Scribe nerf, actually. For Demon Hunter. Fury, rank 1. Give your hero +2 attack this turn. 1 mana, give your hero +2 attack is a worse Twin Slice. So already it's, like, fine. Rank 2, give your hero +3 attack. Upgrades when you have 10 mana, and then it's +4 attack. This is fine. I don't think 1 mana +4 is, like, the most powerful thing ever. Anyway. It's a weak spell that scales as you go. I think I would give this, like, a 2. Like, very solid 2. Could be 2.5, not sure. Fury's text. Rank 3 is when your mom uses your middle name. Got him. Got him. Tusk Piercer. Oh. I saw that movie. Death Rattle, draw a Death Rattle minion. So these cheap Demon Hunter weapons are pretty nice because you can use your hero power with them. 1 mana, 1/2 weapon. With pretty nice death rattle. I like that. I like that quite a bit, actually. A weapon with a death rattle draw. More card draw for Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter has so much card draw. What is Reginald P. Twitch's middle name, by the way? P. It's P. Like P-E-E. Yeah, I think this is a very nice weapon, I agree. We'll call it a 3.5. We can call it a 3.5, I think. Drawing a death rattle is super nice. PP. Pepe. Reginald Pepe Twitch. Yeah, maybe so. That's the bit. Razor Boar. 2 mana, 2/3. Sorry, 2 mana, 2/2 beast. Death Rattle. Summon a Death Rattle minion that costs 3 or less from your hand. Interesting beast tag in Demon Hunter. So they're doing Death Rattle things with Demon Hunter. Summon a Death Rattle minion that costs 3 or less from your hand. 2 mana, 2/2 is a pretty bad stat line. Beast tag not usually relevant. Ability could be relevant, but usually won't be. You'd have to draft a good amount of those cheap death rattles, and I think this is kind of a 1. You'll draft it sometimes, and you'll make use of it, but... Sigil of Flame. At the start of your next turn, deal 3 damage to all minions. Now, this is an interesting one. Same principle as the Silence, right? Delayed damage. At the start of your next turn, so you can kind of bank mana this way. But you also give your opponent time to play around it, is the thing. So, I don't know if I love this. It is 2 damage for 3... 2 mana for 3 damage AoE. Just to all minions, it's not one-sided. They're gonna like leave your minions up to die. I don't think I love this. I'm gonna call this a 1.5. Maybe this is better than I think. Maybe there will be ways to find really cool uses for it. But here's some bad hogs. Razorfen Beastmaster, 3 mana, 3/3, Death Rattle. Summon a Death Rattle minion that costs 4 or less from your hand. Well, this is just like a similar ability to this. This is all Death Rattle stuff. I don't know, man. So the idea I'm seeing is that you string these together, right? Keep summoning Death Rattles from your hand and use card draw to refill. That's what I'm seeing. Seems interesting, but I think this next turn stuff is a hard to balance mechanic. Yeah. Three mana, 3/3. I think it's a 2, dude. I don't know. I'm not sold on these. I'm not sold on these Death Rattle Demon Hunter mechanics. Vile Call, 3 mana spell, summon 2/2/2 demons with lifesteal. Lifesteal is great in Demon Hunter. So this is sort of like that spell that summons Treants, but you get the demons with a lifesteal. That's pretty nice. Call it a 2.5. Because 2/2/2s is not honestly great on the board, but the lifesteal is nothing to sniff at. Cortrus Ashfallen. 4 mana, 3/4 Battlecry. Attack the left and... Oh, this one. Yeah. Attack the left and rightmost enemy minions. Outcast immune this turn. So basically, if this is outcasted, this is going to be like selective AoE. It's going to attack left and right most enemy minions for free. And even if it's not outcasted, you might be able to play this to good effect sometimes. I really like this card. I think it's a cool design. I think it's going to be devastating in some circumstances. But it doesn't seem ultra OP the way other Demon Hunters stuff has in the past. The draw is definitely a bit much. Is it a BG minion? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We can call this a 4. Verging on 4.5. Vengeful Spirit, 4 mana, 4/4, outcast, draw 2 Death Rattle minions, and this is part of the whole Death Rattle package, huh? I think this is pretty nice. I think this is nice. Stat line is a bit underwhelming, but the outcast ability will be super helpful in some decks. I want to call this 2.5. Yeah, it draws Proto for sure, for sure. Death Speaker Blackthorn, 7 mana, 3/6 Battlecry. Summon 3 Death Rattle minions that cost 5 or less from your deck. So Demon Hunter's whole thing in this expansion is Death Rattle. I don't love it, but it could lead to some really good high rolls, that's for sure. This summons them. That's pretty good. You need to have them in there, though. Pretty boring. Yeah, I agree. Kind of boring. I wonder if they're opening up the design space for the future or something. 3 Death Rattle minions that cost 5 or less. Yeah, there's just not... I mean, I'm not seeing it for Demon Hunter specifically. I don't know. I want to call this like a 2. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this will be super good. Yeah, Death Rattles that are about emptying your hand and thinning your deck. And it makes sense coupled with all the ridiculous amounts of card draw that they're throwing at us, but... So that's all the cards. Let's look overall at the class. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing with it. At least the core set's tight. But most of these are very much synergy cards. This is quite good. Tusk Piercer is quite good. Boy, the rest of this is really underwhelming. Really underwhelming. Like, that's basically unpickable. These are kind of crap. Overall, I think I want to rate Demon Hunter expansion. I think I want to rate it a solid 1. Yeah, it's probably better than I think. I loathe to think of the draft where you shoot for this early and you don't get the right Death Rattles, you know? Yeah, I'm just looking at... I'm not looking at the class as a whole. I'm just looking specifically for these rankings at the specific expansion cards. And I think that these expansion cards are kind of ass. I think that they're like 1. Right, we need to do our numbers again here. Below. Alright, and we can put our Demon Hunter friend square in the number 1. Pretty bad. Not exciting, not interesting. Don't love it. Yeah, I hear you. They do synergize, and maybe I'm underestimating that, but the way that they synergize, it doesn't really tickle my fancy. On to Druid. Living Seed. I'm going to refrain from making some jokes that I could make about the title of this card. Rank 1. 2 mana, draw a beast, reduce its cost by 1. Upgrades when you have 5 mana to draw a beast, reduce its cost by 2. Draw a beast, reduce its cost by 3. There's a card like this in Hunter that draws a beast and buffs it. And that card's not great. Oh, I should take the score away. That card's not great. I don't think this will be great either. Sometimes you do need a little bit of card draw in Druid, though. So can't stick your nose up too far at that. I'm going to call this a 1.5. Every seed is living. Mark of the Spikes Hell. Mark of the Spikes Hell. 2 mana spell, give a minion +2/+2. If it has taunt, add a copy of it to your hand. Interesting conditional buff here. They definitely go in for this big Druid stuff, right? So this is supposed to let Druid cling to life in an annoying way. Add a copy of it to your hand. I like this. It's okay. Like the +2/+2, you can throw that out there in a pinch, or you can wait till you smash it on like a gray bow or something and just win the game. I'll call it 2.5 because of the extra upside. I wanted to give it a 2, but we'll call it a 2.5. Razormane Battle Guard, 2 mana 2/3. The first taunt minion you play each turn costs 2 less. Now this 2 mana 2/3, solid stat line with an upside that will happen relatively frequently. So I actually think this is pretty good. They're doing taunt stuff in Druid, I see. Interesting. So ramp and taunt. It could work. 3? $3.5? Turn 3 Rustied? That's really good. Wait, how? You can't do turn 3 Rustied. I mean, if this is already out, you mean. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you could just sort of run the game over with this. I'm gonna call this a 3.5. I actually really like this ability. I think this can do some gnarly stuff. Yeah. Thorn Growth Sentries, 2 mana spell, summon 2/1/2 turtles with taunt. Are they beasts or something? Yeah. They've got taunt. It's like a dinky little feral spirit, I guess. Yeah, Teacher's Pet on 3. Ooh. Pretty good. Pretty good. Kind of a Noyotron. Yeah. Like a 2. 2 verging on 2.5. This is like a fine card. Can delay. You could put that buff on it, get another 1/2 in hand, I guess. Guff Rune Totem. Guff, run into him. 3 mana 2/4. After you cast a nature spell, give another friendly minion +2/+2. So you have to have at least 2 minions on the board. And you have to have a nature spell. And this minion's stats are kind of ass. I honestly don't like it. You can hide the taunt reducer behind the sentries. That's true. And they're definitely valuable for that. Protecting good stuff. Plague Maw the Rotting. 4 mana 3/4. Another legendary. Another bad stat line. After a friendly minion with taunt dies, summon a new copy of it without taunt. Okay. More of this taunt replication thing they're trying to pull off. You put this down and then you have to either trade in or hope that they can't remove it without getting through your taunt first. I think it's a slightly better than the other one. We'll call it a 2. But you have to have the right setup for this to be good. If you play a spell that summons something, you don't need another minion. True. True. Right, and you will often be doing that in Druid. So that's a good point. That's a good point. Pride's Fury, 4 mana, give your minions +1/+3. Is this good, chat? This is a weird art card. The gazelle's like glowing. 4 mana, give your minions +1/+3. If you have 2 minions, it's +2/+6, which is basically that priest card, right? Oh, much worse Arbor Up. Awkward Kings? Yeah, Awkward Kings. That's a way to put it, C-Jams. I think it sucks. 1.5. You'll be able to draft it sometimes. Thick-Eyed Kodo. 4 mana, 3/5 taunt. Death Rattle, gain 5 armor. This is like purely mediocre. 2. It's fine. It's got taunt. That'll be useful. We want taunt things. More armor helps you survive. It's fine. Celestial Alignment, 7 mana, set each... Oh, this one! Set each player to 0 mana crystals. Set the cost of cards in all hands and decks to 1. This is more of that big druid stuff, huh? Will this be playable in Arena? I'm actually very curious if it will. It's definitely a meme. Definitely a meme. I think the problem is Druid doesn't have a lot of card draw. I think that hampers this one's ability to have an impact. Yeah, and your opponent gets to go first. They'll dump their hand, you'll dump your hand, and then you're both top decking. And if you have a big enough deck, that could work out well for you. It often does in Druid. But... I don't know. 1. Okay, yeah, you're right. I mean, they can't dump, they can just play 1. But they will be dumping faster than you, I guess, is what I mean to say. At a faster rate. Nah, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. Would love to try it out in a deck sometime, but I don't think I'll be able to get it to work. Druid of the Plains. Now this design I like. Look at this guy. Look at this cute cat. Look at him going. Rah, rah. Gonna get you. Seven mana, 7/6 rush, frenzy, transform into a 6/7 Kodo with taunt. Oh my god, this is like the Coil Fang in Demon Hunter. Now, what the thing about this is you could choose when to play it and make sure that it gets that transform off. But if you send it into, for example, a played Rustied Raider, then you're losing a bit of value because your 7/5 that just cleared the Raider will transform into a 6/7 taunt. You're not even really losing value there. You're just not... Yeah. I think this is extremely good. This is going to be a huge swing on the board. Because not only are you... And it's a taunt that you can replicate, right? Not only are you removing something significant, probably, but you're putting up a taunt to protect yourself. This is kind of an ideal swing card. How good is this? Is it a 5? Because of potential awkwardness, I'm going to give it a 4.5. It won't always be useful, so I do not think it is a 5. Yeah, Druid needs saving. Yeah, this is like Twilight Runner, the one card that keeps Druid afloat, that you'll occasionally find. And that's it. Boy, this is another rough outing from Druid, huh? Looking at all this together, this is a really good card. A lot of mediocrity, though. A lot of mediocrity, even in the legendaries. Clearly, by far, the best card is this Epic. This Epic kind of sucks. Yeah, rough. Rough. But because of this, maybe exclusively because of this, I think it's a 1.5. It's just like looking really bad. I think it's 1.5, and that makes Druid, I think, the worst class going forward, because at least Demon Hunter got a good core set. Woof woof. Looking forward to playing with this, though. Not looking forward to facing it. I like the art a lot. So we can come on over here and stick Druid a little bit higher than Demon Hunter there, 1.5. We can make our way 4th. Nope. Hunter. Sunscale Raptor. 1 mana, 1/3 beast. That's good. Frenzy. Shuffle a Sunscale Raptor into your deck with a permanent +2/+1. That means the next Sunscale Raptor you draw will be 1 mana, 3/4. And if that gets frenzied, then it makes a 5/5. 1 mana, 5/5. You probably won't get that far to the 1 mana, 5/5. Yeah, Druid's mechanic is Taunt, and it will stall out some games, but it feels like trying to cling to a slope that you're scrabbling down. You're eventually just going to fall, you know? I think it'll work that way. I think you might have multiple in your deck. Like, you might have multiple 3/4s, and then you might get multiple 5/5s. But if you have a 3/4 and it hits twice and survives both times, I don't think you'll get a 5/5 and a 7/6. I think you will get 2 5/5s in your deck, if that makes sense. If you have enough sustainability that you can stand to be drawing these 1-cost cards, I think it's okay. 1 mana, 1/3 beast is sometimes just good enough to have, you know? I think this is okay. I'll give it a 2.5, I think. Like, perfectly solid curve card for Hunter with some potential upside. Some potential beast synergy as well. Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder, Frank. You frenzy only once. Yes, you're right. It doesn't say shuffle a copy, but it's a permanent buff. So when you draw the 3/4, it is a 3/4. It's not a buffed 1/3, you know? It's like corrupt. Oh, but you're saying... Oh, you're saying... I see what you're saying. You're saying shuffle because it says shuffle a Sunscale Raptor. That it is going to... Even if you have the 3/4, it's going to shuffle a 1/3. Oh... That makes it a little worse. If that's the case. Boy, they could have done a better job wording this. But on the other hand, Frank, now think about it this way. You draw the 1 mana 3/4 Sunscale Raptor with the +2/+1. That card that you've drawn is still a Sunscale Raptor. So is that Sunscale Raptor the one that gets shuffled, or the original Sunscale Raptor? I think it's perfectly ambiguous, so I can't really rate this card, to be honest. It's either a 2 or a 2.5, depending. Super confusingly worded. That one is on the board. That one is on the board. I don't know what that means. Oh, it should have the frenzy, too, because it's part of the card, right? Yeah, it's. I think I see what you're saying, Frank. So there's the way I originally read it, and then there's the way that you read it, and I think even past that, there's a further way to read that, where you say like, oh, the 3/4 Sunscale Raptor is still a Sunscale Raptor that could be. It's confusing. Anyway, moving on. Wound Prey. I wound my prey. 1 mana, deal 1 damage, summon a 1/1 hyena with rush. Ooh, I like this card a lot. I love cards like this in Hunter. I like the one that dealt 1 damage and summoned a 1/1. This is even better than that. Dealing 1 damage to the face is not negligible in Hunter. This is super relevant. And I imagine the hyena will be a beast. That's great, because you can adapt that beast, right? Yeah, y'all seem perfectly evenly split on the ambiguity of that last card. I think it keeps getting buffed, but I'm far from sure. This Wound Prey I like a lot. It's a common card. Yeah, it's really nice. It'll be good for beast synergies. I love the rush. You know what this kills, chat? This kills Moonfangs. Well, not by itself, but... Oh, no adapt, right. But maybe at least... I mean, there'll at least be the beaver for beast synergies. Maybe there won't be a lot of beast synergy, huh? I guess we'll see. I still like this card, though. 3... I think it's a 3. Mastiff, that's the one, yeah. Coldcar Pack Runner. 2 mana, 2/3 epic. After you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 hyena with rush. More of these rush hyenas. Good. I like it. I like it. 2 mana, 2/3. Good stat line. Great upside. I'm going to call this a 3.5. Yep. Prospector's Caravan. 2 mana, 1/3. At the start of your turn, give all minions in your hand +1/+1. Now, this is the stat line we don't like, the 2 mana, 1/3, but it has an immediate effect. No, it doesn't, actually. You have to wait till next turn for it to go off. So, actually, I don't like this card at the start of your turn. So, you play this, and then if it dies, it's just useless. If it survives, I mean, are you going to have that big of a hand? Sometimes. I think this is a 1.5. I don't think that this is the hand buff that you want in Hunter necessarily. Tame Beast. It's not pretty, but this is very funny art to me. This art is really funny to me. Caravan Do, yeah. Tame Beast, summon a 2/2 beast with rush. Then when you have 5 mana, it's summon a 4/4. And 10 mana, I assume. Yeah, 10 mana, it's summon a 6/6 with rush. 2 mana, 4/4 starts to be okay. I think this card's okay. 2 mana, 6/6. You can call that a 2.5. That's Redbeard. Which one? Pack Kodo. 3 mana, 3/3. Ooh, this is pretty good art too. Battlecry, discover a beast, secret, or weapon. Ooh, 3 mana, 3/3 beast that discovers something tasty. The weapon is potentially very good. Stat line not great, but I think that the discovery is super nice. I'll give that a 3.5. Tavish Stormpike. Oh, it's this guy. Yeah, look at him. That's him. After a friendly... Oh, say. 3 mana, 2/5 legendary. After a friendly beast attacks, summon a beast from your deck that costs 1 less. Oh, God. How to rate this? If you have enough beasts, this will often work, but you can't really rely on it, right? Because your beast has to survive to attack, unless it has rush. The artist on this one was Jim Nelson. Did he also draw this one? Yep. Good job, Jim Nelson, I guess. Although this one's a little boring. I mean, if the upside works, it's pretty powerful. Imagine, like, getting a King Crush down or something. I don't know. I don't love this. 1.5, unfortunately, for the Hunter Legendary here. Piercing Shot, 4 mana, deals 6 damage to a minion. Excess damage hits the enemy hero. Now, this is like Trampling Rhino in spell form. Trampling Rhino is better because the body can potentially survive. But this deals 1 more damage. You dislike 3 mana 2/5s that much? Yeah, 3 mana 3/6 is a good stat line. Well, 4 mana 3 mana 2/5. Actually, maybe that's not too bad. 3 mana 2/5's okay. Better than a 2/4. I still don't know if I want to bump it up to 2 though. Maybe it's a 2. 3 mana 3/5, very good stat line. 3/4 is good. 3 mana 2/5. It's okay. It's okay. All right, fine. We'll call this a 2. You've convinced me. The Piercing Shot, I dig it for Smork. I dig it. We'll call it a... And 6 damage to a minion's nothing to sniff at. Actually, I want to call this a 3.5. I think this will be good. You can kill like 2 ones with it and get a ton of damage face even. If you're getting close. Yeah, it's a fireball. That can split its damage between minion and face. That's kind of cool. 3.5. Battlecry okay, Warsong Wrangler, 4 mana 3/4 epic. Discover a beast in your deck. Give all copies of it +2/+1. Is this good enough for the minus tempo of the stat line? I don't really care about the copies of it. That could be really good swing, but good enough. Yeah. Yeah, you get the card draw out of it. Let's call this a 2.5. I think it'll be average. Hey, Angry, we're doing the set review of the new set. We're probably over halfway through. We've been going for a while. How you doing? How's your day going? Barack Kodobane Obama. Hope. 5 mana, 3/5, legendary. Battlecry, draw a 1, 2, and 3 cost spell. More cards like these. I don't know. You need a really good deck for it. You often have those cost spells in Hunter, it's true. If you draw 2 of them, it's probably worth it, but not really in the Hunters I like to draft. I think this is 1.5. Yeah, it's mostly constructed, yeah. You've been asleep? Yeah, I noticed. You were conked out on the couch. Let's look at Hunter as a whole. Some good stuff, some stuff that I don't really get. It does seem in general that the card quality of this expansion is lower, which I appreciate, actually. Yeah, maybe a late draft card. I'm excited to draft for Hunter. Yeah, Hunter might make a little bit of a comeback here. I want to know what beast synergies there will be, though. Because losing Kill Command and losing Adapt, I don't know that the beast synergy will pack as much punch. I'd like an analysis on what percentage of Blobby's ratings get a 0.5 increment. No. No analysis. I like Hunter with the core and stuff. Yeah, just looking at this expansion, this is okay. Solid. Pretty good. Kind of bad. Solid. Pretty good. It's like solid to pretty good stuff mostly. god. Is this average or below average? I want to give this, I'm underwhelmed by the legendaries is the thing. I think I want to give this a 2. 2 out of 5. Piercing shot's good. There's nothing that really blows me away here. Nothing like, Rinling's rifle or anything, right? I think I want to give this a 2. Stormpike better than I think. We'll see. It's the whole cost 1 less thing. That's a lot to juggle when you're building a deck for Arena, you know? It's a high skill threshold card, I think. You're gonna lose to it sometimes and just be smacking your head, though. So with that 2, it goes highest yet, up above our other friends here. Oh, we need to do our presentation mode, right? Woohoo, yeah, look at that. Snazzy. How many times does it have to proc to be good? Probably just 1. Probably just 1, but I think it's going to be hard to get even 1 in a lot of cases. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a cool zebra thing. But yeah, I'm not terribly excited about this stuff. We'll see. Jury's out on Hunter, I think, for me. Let's go to Mage. Yeah, Tavish is all over the place. All in on Tavish. Yeah, I wish Tavish were more interesting. Alright, Flurry. Right, Mage is doing the Freeze Mage thing, this expansion. I'm very interested in how that's going to work out. Freeze a random enemy minion. Pretty bad. Now, rank 2, add 5 mana, freeze 2 random enemy minions. You're starting to talk. 3 random enemy minions. Flurry on its own is subpar, but with other freeze synergies might be something worthwhile. I think I will give this a 1 point, not a 15, 1.5. Because like freeze could be really annoying, and with the synergies that I believe exist for it, I think it'll be solid. But you don't necessarily want to draft this very highly, because it just delays, it doesn't do much beyond that. Ruined Orb, aw. Does it have a crack in it? Did it get soiled? 2 mana, deal 2 damage, discover a spell. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. And it can go face, chat. This is the nuts, I think. Ooh. We're gonna call that a 4.5 easily. Orb. Easily a 4.5 here. Woof. Why can't Hunter get cards like this? I guess it would be too powerful. Wildfire. 2 mana, increase the damage of your hero power by 1. Is this gonna be good, chat? 3 mana hero power, or sorry, 2 damage hero power for the rest of the game? Tavish is Jim Nelson. I like the art. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's very much like Shadow Form, huh? Comes in handy for another card coming. Well, also, there's that stuff in the core set about repeating hero powers and having bonus damage on your hero powers. So I think that we can call this... It's pretty slow tempo, but in a long game, we can call it a 2.5. That's a little bit ambitious for it, but I can definitely see the use of it. Arcane Luminary, 3 mana, 4/3. Cards that didn't start in your deck cost 2 less, but no, not less than 1. Fine. I'm sure there's some synergy for it later, but we'll give it a 2 just for the stat line. It's an elemental, which helps a little bit. Oasis Ally, 3 mana, secret. When a friendly minion is attacked, summon a 3/6 water elemental. You're putting a 3 mana water elemental out there that can't initially be attacked by the enemy. And unless they're about to smork you to death, they will have to attack a friendly minion of yours. This card is busted, I think. Sometimes the opponent will be able to play around it, but I think this is busted. Maybe a 4. We'll call it a strong 4. Really liking this secret. Rhyme Tongue. God, that does not look like a Rhyme Tongue. I mean, he looks like he's about to say something, but it didn't look like it's going to be particularly rhyming. 3 mana, 3/4. After you cast a frost spell, summon a 1/1 elemental that freezes. Oh, dirty. Yeah, dirty. Good stat line, nice upside. We can call this a 4 as well. Reckless Apprentice, 4 mana, 3/5, Battlecry. Fire your hero power at all enemies. Oh, cool. Cool. Cool hero power synergies. So 4 mana, 3/5, 1 damage enemies AoE. Already pretty good. And there's upside there. I think I want to call this a 4 as well. Imagine if Rhyme Tongue had no bars. It sure doesn't look like he got bars. He got bars of ice going through his backpack. That's about it. Yeah, I think this will be good. It also goes face, which is nice. Yeah, Mage is looking pretty gnarly, huh? Refreshing Spring Water. I like this design. Thirsty boy. 4 mana, draw 2 cards, refresh 2 mana crystals for each spell drawn. It's just a riskier Arcane Intellect. 2 with potential to be better, I think. Hey, it's our non-binary royalty, Varden Dawngrasp. 4 mana, 3/3, Battlecry. Freeze all enemy minions. If any are already frozen, deal 4 damage to them instead. So this is the busted card that ties together all the Freeze Mage stuff and makes Freeze Mage actually really scary if you have this. You still need to pull off the combo, though. At its worst, when you don't have anything already frozen, it's still 4 mana, 3/3, freeze all enemy minions. So you're looking at Frost Nova on a stick, which is pretty cool. I think I want to give this a 4 as well. Lots of 4s in the last stretch, but... Mordresh Fire Eye. 10 mana, 10/10, Battlecry. If you've dealt 10 damage with your hero power this game, deal 10 damage to all enemies. That's doable, huh? That's doable, huh? We'll call this a 3.5, because you don't want to be playing a lot of 10 mana 10/10s, but if you get that proc on the Battlecry, it's kind of amazing. Yeah, I don't know if Trollden's still a thing either, but I take your point. Wow, so Mage first really good set of the expansion. Flurry has a lot of really good use, even if by itself it's a bit underwhelming. This didn't have to be as good as it is. Discover a spell, goddamn. This could be 3 mana and still be good, in my opinion. Like, right? It's like basically then a palm reading at that point. But it affects the board. Wildfire helps with like this and this. Now these synergies are around the hero power. They go together better than like the hunter synergies or like the druid taunt synergies, I think, or the demon hunter death rattle synergies. I think these go really nicely together and interlocute pretty well with the core set. And nothing here is bad, except like this is the closest to a bad card. So what's our score? Everything is better than average. Nothing is like incredible. I think I want to give this a 4. I'll give Mage overall a 4. Yeah, you think so too, guy? 3.5 seems high for this. Maybe. I think you can deal 10 damage with the hero power in certain decks. I think that'll be a relatively doable win condition. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overestimating it. But so let's stick our queen up at 4. Hunter was 2, Druid 1.5, Demon Hunter 1, right? Alright, moving on. Paladin. Hopefully these are weak. I'm gonna use the P room. Reginald P Twitch. Oh, and I need some water, so I'm gonna refill my water too. I'll be just a minute. Alrighty. You know, if you're wondering, chat, I am going to upload this to YouTube. And I'm definitely not even gonna bother to edit out the breaks because I'm gonna be lazy about it. Mage is looking strong. But we're on Paladin now. Conviction. Rank 1. Give a random friendly minion +3 attack. Random, huh? Is it +4 and... Oh, give 2 random friendly minions +3 attack. Give 3. Interesting. So you it's a win more card in some ways. You have to have the board. Blessing of Might that you can't target, but that might get spread across. It's a pretty good way to find some lethal in Paladin, you know? Paladin doesn't have stuff like this, like Druid or Warrior, or Shaman rather, have with Bloodlust. Call it 2.5. I think you'll often be able to make it work for you. Galloping Savior. I like this card art. It's still a little bit boring, but I like it. Secret. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, summon a 3/4 steed with taunt. It's a 1 mana 3/4. Eventually your opponent's going to play 3 cards in a turn. Probably, eventually. Sometimes it won't happen to the late game. Sometimes they'll be able to avoid doing so, actually, because they'll read that this secret is Galloping Savior. But if you play it shrewdly... I'm going to call it a 2, because I think the opponent might be able to play around it a decent amount of the time. Knight of Anointment. Battlecry, draw a holy spell. 1 mana, 1/1. If you've got the holy spells, solid upside. I'll give it the average score. Soldier's Caravan, 2 mana, 1/3 at the start of your turn. Summon 2 1/1 Silverhand Recruits. This is just like that Hunter card. It's at the start of your turn, remember? So, although this ability can accumulate, it's kind of bad for the same reason that Demolisher is a bad card, you know? So I'm going to call this a 1. I don't like it. Sword of the Fallen, 2 mana, 1/3 weapon. After your hero attacks, cast a secret from your deck. With Paladin secrets being better, this actually could be pretty dope. This is a little bit like a less good Rinling's Rifle, right? And Rinling's Rifle is one of the best cards it's existed in Hunter. You don't get to choose the secret with this one. But I think, let's just call it a 3. You might not always get the secrets to go with it. If you don't get those secrets, it's a much worse Light's Justice, right? So let's call it a 3, verging on 3.5. North Watch Commander. 3 mana, 3/4, Battlecry. If you control a secret, draw a minion. So they're really going in on secrets in Paladin, which I kind of like. I kind of dig it. Paladin secrets are only 1 mana, easy to squeeze in a turn. Yeah, about thinning the deck. You have to draw it. What do you mean? You mean for the commander, right? Not for this, because it casts the secret. But you mean for the commander. I mean, obviously, these go together really well. Yeah, if you control a secret, draw a minion. And again, we're looking at the stat line. 3 mana, 3/4, great stat line. Really, really great upside. You're going to have Hydrologists also, right? So you can make it such that this will draw you a minion pretty decently often. I like this card. I think I'll give it a 4. Maybe a 3.5 is more appropriate because you're not always going to have the secrets. But I feel like looking at the secrets that are there, you're going to want to draft Paladin secrets more often than you had before. That's my guess. Cariel Rome. Row me, daddy. She could row me any day. Sorry, I'm not gonna be rude. That hammer is really cool. I like her hammer a lot. She's cool. I dig it. 4 mana, 4/3 legendary. Rush Divine Shield. Whenever this attacks, reduce the cost of holy spells in your hand by 1. The ability is like meh, but 4 mana, 4/3 Rush Divine Shield. That's really good. Like, think about Fishy Flyer, but it stays on the board no matter what you hit with it. Rather than you having to play it again, right? We should ask her and her hammer to come hang out on our porch. True. I like the silver streak in her hair. She'd fit in West Philly, right? I really like this card. The cost reduction is just a cherry on top. Honestly, it might be a 4.5. The Rush with Divine Shield thing is, I think, very potent. Invigorating Sermon. 4 mana, give +1/+1 to all minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield. Hard to rate this one, chat. Do you think this will be good? It's like a mini Gift of the Wild or whatever that 10 cost card is. Sermon bad. It's gonna be hard to find the time for it. It's true. Let's give it a 2 and say maybe it'll surprise us. Veteran War Medic, 4 mana, 3/5. After you cast a holy spell, summon a 2/2 medic with lifesteal. 2/2 medic with lifesteal. So this is just better. Violet Apprentice? Violet Teacher? Violet Teacher? Teacher. Better, more specific Violet Teacher. 4 mana, 3/5. $2.5. I'm not super inspired by this card. I almost gave it a 2, but I think it might be a little better than that. Cannon Master Smythe. Ooh, Cannon Master Smythe. 5 mana, 4/4. Battlecry. Transform your secrets into 3/3 soldiers. They transform back when they die. Oh, interesting. Now, again, I can't rate this highly because you gotta have the secrets out there. And that's a huge limiting factor. But if you can get the ability to go off, that's really good. Hey, Tamakato. Simon's been sleeping with Angry in the living room all day. So probably pretty good. His day yesterday was nightmarish because we had to keep him away from Angry's door because they were filming. He would go to their door and yell. And it was just a constant battle of trying to get him to be placated and resting and not anxious and not trying to climb over our blockades to get it back up to the door. Yeah, what a terror. Cannon Master Smythe. It's cool, but I don't think I can rate it highly. I'll give it another 2. Thought about 2.5, but you just have to have the secrets. And in Arena, I can't stress how often that won't be the case for you. Paladin looks pretty good, though. Conviction is a potential win condition. The Savior could be really nice in some cases. Nice diversification of the secret pool. Knight of Anointment might be some good card draw. The Sword also might be good card draw. I like what the secrets are doing together. the secret synergies for the most part. And this is a really nice legendary, and this can be nice in certain decks. So it's a combination of cards that are a little bit crappy unless you proc their upside, and cards that are quite good, I think. More verging on the former than the latter. Oh. She's upset about something. Probably someone dying. This is really one of the only bad ones. This and this. I think I would give Paladin a 3. A little better than average, I would say. And thank you for the 1-bit, Tomakato. Appreciate it. Not much late game. That's true, actually. That's an interesting point. Just like tempo secret stuff. I'm very excited and curious to see how the Paladin will play out with the secret synergies. If it's as good as I think they'll be. Priest time! Desperate Prayer. Why? Why? What is this shit? Why? What? The fuck is this? Why? 0. Goose. Ego. Lego my ego. I'm sure this is existing for some constructed combo, but... Like, Priest doesn't need more dead weight like this. Priest has, like, 3 cards that only heal. Like, anyway. Ugh. Yuck. Alright, Condemn. Rank 1. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Deal 2 damage to them all, and deal 3 damage to them all. Deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. That's a really good AoE. For 2 mana. Even 2 damages. It's like a landslide procced, right? Holy Nova kind of does that already. I'll give it a 3. A little bit above average, I would say. Serena Bloodfeather. 2 mana, 1/1 Battlecry. Choose an enemy minion, steal attack and health from it until this has more. I wonder how that works. So if I click on an enemy 2/3, will this become a 3/4? If I click on an enemy 2/3, will this actually become a 4/4? Health and attack are considered separately. Okay, okay. So it's basically 1 more stat for both than the enemy minion you pick. So this is sort of like that Argent card in Argent Braggart in Paladin. The Argent Braggart is maybe a little better, right? I still think this is good. This is basically like cheaper faceless copy card, right? And that card's pretty good. Do you think this is due? No, I think this is great. Oh, and by the way, this is steal. That means they lose it. Is that true? In the example of a 2/3, that would mean that this would become a 3/4, and that minion would become dead because it would just steal all of its. Oh, but then does it happen like 1 by 1? So if it's a 2/3, does it become a 1/2, and our card becomes a 2/2? And then our attack doesn't steal again. It steals another health, so it becomes a... 1, 1. So that becomes a 1, 1, and we have a 2, 3. Is that how it works? Because in that case, it wouldn't. Yeah. Boy, this is a confusing card, huh? I'm gonna call it a 3.5 and just call it a day there. Just see how it works in the wild. Soothsayer's Caravan, 2 mana, 1/3. At the start of your turn, copy a spell from your opponent's deck to your hand. Now, this is the best of the 2 mana, 1/3s we've seen, but it's still dookie. Called a 1.5. Devouring Plague, 3 mana, lifesteal, deal 4 damage, randomly split among all enemy minions. So you get 4 health. 4 damage randomly split among minions. Okay, that's better than enemies. So this is like Firebrand without the body, which kind of sucks. Or like a worse Minefield. Oh, it does say enemy minions, which... We'll call this a 2.5. It does say enemy minions, right? So it's Minefield, but you don't have to have an empty board, which is very relevant. Cute Caravan, 5 out of 5. Aw, look at that llama. Alright. Void Flare. 4 mana, 3/4, Battlecry. For each spell in your hand, deal 1 damage to a random enemy minion. You're gonna have spells in Priest. I'm gonna give this a 2. The stats aren't great. The upside's okay. Xerella. 4 mana, 4/4, Battlecry. If you've restored health this turn, deal that much damage to all enemy minions. Ooh. Renew Antics. So turn 6, this is a 4 mana, 4. Turn 6, this is a 4/4 body that does 2 damage to all enemy minions. It doesn't even say restored health to your face. It says restored health at all. I think I want to call this a... Yeah, this is solid, huh? I want to call this a 4. Sometimes you'll have to use it as a 4/4, I suppose, but that's not the worst thing in the world. Priest of Anche. 5 mana, 5/5, Taunt, Battlecry. If you've restored health this turn, gain +3/+3. So with Priest, it's all about health restore, right? You buff your minions' health and then you heal them. 5 mana, 8/8. Pretty good. That is pretty good. If we've learned anything from Pearl Tusk, huh? Now, this doesn't have initiative, which is a setback, but... Like on turn 7, if you heal a minion and then bring this out, really strong. I think this is at least a 4 as well. Why did they never print a Priest of and they? And she said, and he said, and they said. Four. Light Shower Elemental. Taunt, Death Rattle. Restore 8 health to all friendly characters. 6/6. 6 mana Taunt is good. And the Death Rattle is actually very nice. Very nice. That's a lot of health, folks. I'm going to call this a 4.5. I think this is kind of nutty. Power word Fortitude. Give a minion +3/+5. Cost 1 less for each spell in your hand. This is kind of bad. What the hell? This is kind of bad. +3/+5 is nothing. That's like a little bit better than the 3 cost. Good lord. Yeah, don't draft this. Not worth it. Alright, let's take a peek at Priest. Overall, we've got some dead cards, right? That's a bummer. They got good AoEs coming in. I guess that's the new thing, is like Priest on the board with AoE. And like health buffs, healing. Not crazy about it, but we'll see how it works. I think the Blood Feather's good. Caravan, meh. Yeah, a little bit meh in general. And we've got our Hunter at 2 and our Paladin at 3, yeah. Oops. There's some good stuff here, some absolute crap, and a lot in between. I think it might be a 2.5. Because the AoE is good, and I don't know. We'll call it a 2.5, I think. Yeah, Priest Barrens is okay. It's okay. 2.5. It's not like the dastardly priest that I mean, the restore 8 health can be dastardly. This is a big thing. I don't know. Power Word Feast is going to clean up, I think. Even more so than before. Cool. Rogue. Paralytic Poison. One mana, give your weapon +1 attack, and your hero is immune while attacking, right? So this is what the now 4 mana weapon is for. You buff its attack and make yourself immune. That's pretty worthwhile. Dagger becomes 2/2. It's not amazing, but it's worthwhile. We'll call it a 2. Little bit below average, I think. Yoink! 1 mana, discover a hero power and set its cost to 0. Swap back after 2 uses. This is cool. I like this. 2 free taps, 2 free pings. I like this card. We'll give this it's a fun, like, tricksy rogue card. Good tempo. Cool, but kind of bad. I think this might be like, ooh, not 23. I think this could be like a 3. You don't think so? Maybe a 2.5? If you don't get the good hero powers, I wonder if you can discover dagger. But like you dagger and then you don't need to dagger for a little while, right? And you use this card. I'll stick by 3. I think it could be good. Efficient Octobot. 2 mana, 1/4 Frenzy. Reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. Cost reduction in Rogue is kind of good because of combo, but less good because you run out of cards. Might be good to smork them down. But you don't love a 2 mana 1/4. If it gets if it gets a hit off, 1.5, I think. I'm not in love with the hand buff ability or the stat line. Silverleaf Poison. Give your weapon after your hero attacks. Draw a card. So that's 2 mana, 2 card draws for a typical dagger. I think that's good. We'll give it a 3. Especially if you have more weapon charges on the weapon. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. It really keeps you chugging. Wicked Stab, rank 1, 2 mana, deal 2 damage. Fine. 2 mana, deal 4 damage. Good. 2 mana, deal 6 damage. That's a lot of damage. I like this card. We'll give this a 3.5. I like the way it scales. Definitely find lethal with this. Wicked Stab. Goes face, chat. Goes face. 3 mana, 3/2 field contact. After you play a battle cry or combo card, draw a card. They're really giving Rogue some card draw options, huh? You need battle cries and combos, so I will not rate this highly. Stats are ass. A little bit like the Buzzard, huh? In Hunter. Let's call it 1.5 on this one. Because you need to have the cards and have the mana and have the ability to sack tempo. Swine Tusk Shank, 3 mana, 2/2 weapon. After you play a poison, gain +1 durability. So you buff this weapon and then it also buffs its durability. I dig it. If it's by itself, it's pretty crappy weapon though. So I actually don't dig it very much. 1.5. You don't really want to be using this over a dagger. Apothecary Hellbrim, legendary, 4 mana, 3/2, Battlecry and Death Rattle, add a random poison to your hand. Now this is like that X something, the poison dude. Battlecry and Death Rattle, add a random poison to your hand. The poisons are like solid, right? Three. Oil Rig Ambusher, 4 mana, 4/4, Battlecry, deal 2 damage. If this entered your hand this turn, deal 4 instead. Cool. It's just right off the bat, it's a better Fireflame Phoenix, so thumbs up there. And there's an upside if you top deck it, which in Rogue you often will be looking at top decks. Deal 4 damage. Like there's stuff like Secret Passage and Sprint that late game you could draw this, maybe find lethal. I like this card a lot. I'll give it a 4. Super solid curve card. Super solid. Maybe even better than a 4. Scab's Cutter Butter. 4 mana, 3/3 combo. The next 2 cards you play this turn cost 3 less. Ooh, you can do some nasty stuff with this, huh? You need the card draw though, because you're gonna run out of stuff in your hand. This is for making pushes. Three, maybe? Pretty hard one to rate. That's it for Rogue. Scab's got big dick energy. Yeah. Alright, Rogue is a bit of a strange one. A lot of stuff that seems like it could be really good, but we're not really sure. A lot of weapon buff stuff. It might be a little underwhelming ultimately because of that, but there are some really nice cards like the Wicked Stab and the Oil Rig Ambusher that elevate it, I think. So I think I might be wanting to call this a 2.5 as well. I think that there's some cards that are quite above average and the rest is a little underwhelming. Rarity matters too. It's true. A lot of the better cards are rarer. The exception being the Wicked Stab. Silverleaf Potion, pretty solid. Yeah, I think it's going to be average. Not that one, this one. So let's find our... Oop. Wait, did we not put Priest? Did we not do Priest? Did we skip Priest? We did. We did Priest. What did we rate Priest? 2.5, right? We just rated Priest, I think, at 2.5. And then we're rating Rogue 2.5 as well. And I think the Rogue edges out the Priest, maybe? I'm not sure, actually. I think Priest was 2.5. And let's look back real quick. Priest might be a little better than Rogue. Although Priest does have some shitters. Yeah, I'm gonna give Priest the slight edge here. Just by a little bit. And then Hunter's down at 2, I believe. Cool. On to the next one. Shaman. Spawn Pool Forager. 1 mana, 1/2 Death Rattle. Summon a 1/1 Tiny Fin. Fine. Okay card. Better than Possessed whatever Villager from Warlock, right? Plus Murloc synergies. I'll give this a 2.5. Perfectly solid and acceptable. Chain Lightning. Deal 2 damage to a random minion and upgrade. Sorry. And a random. Fuck. God damn it. Deal 2 damage to a minion and a random adjacent one. Okay. I see. Man, did Shaman really need this in addition to Lightning Storm and Tidal Wave and all that? I think this is pretty powerful. Ooh, even that least upgraded, it's pretty powerful. It's like a targeted cleave. $3.5, maybe better, maybe a 4. Cause I think that ability is strong. You can kill stealthed stuff with it, right? Which is extremely valuable. The board state needs to cooperate with you, but if you're patient. Okay, 2 mana, 2/3 legendary Firemancer Flirtle. After you play a Murloc, deal 1 damage to all enemies, chat. After you play a Murloc. And remember, Murloc Tiny Fin is out there. There's a bunch of new neutral Murlocs, or old neutral Murlocs actually in the core set. New Murlocs in the core set and in the expansion. I think that this card is pretty dope. Let's call it a 3, because you won't always have a ton of Murlocs around. But it's hard for a 2 mana 2/3 to hit a 3 score, so I think this is actually quite good. I'm drafting Shaman until I get this card with the synergy, right? It seems like it'll be fun. South Coast Chieftain. More Murlocs. Murloc Shaman. Battlecry. If you control another Murloc, deal 2 damage. So, the stat line. Subpar, but fine. The ability. It's like a better... this is like a better 3 mana 3/2... the elemental one that deals 3 damage if you played an elemental last turn. So we'll call this 2.5. Maybe a 2, honestly. 2 or 2.5, because I'm not sure how many Murlocs you'll be able to get. Tiny Fin's Caravan. At the start of your turn, draw a Murloc. I don't like that. Yeah, Gyroworm deals 3, but the stat line takes a huge hit. So which makes Gyroworm worse, I think. By a fair margin. Oh, I think this is so bad. 0.5. It's not even a Murloc itself. Arid Stormer, 3 mana 2/5 elemental. Battlecry, if you played an elemental last turn, gain Rush and Wind Fury. Okay. Okay stat line. Solid ability. Requires synergy pick. Maybe this is better than that. Maybe this is a 2. And you just gotta look for the elementals. 3 mana, Nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop us. Give your minions +1/+1. Give your Murlocs an extra +1/+1. God damn. These crappy buff spells. Ugh. Brucon, 4 mana, 5/4, nature spell damage +3. That's very specific. You'll get it a lot in Shaman, I guess. It's 2.5. Solid stat line. Earth Revenant, 4 mana, 2/6 taunt. Battlecry, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Not bad. Not bad at all. Give it a 3. Hey, look, the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. Lilypad Lurker, 5 mana, 4/5 epic. Battlecry, if you played an elemental last turn, transform an enemy minion into a 0/1 frog with taunt. So it's Hex on a stick if you played an elemental last turn. God, this is strong if you can pull it off, and perfectly unimpressive if you can't. I will give it a 3, and that's an inflated score, you know? It's just because Hex is so strong. I don't... Shaman, it's all synergy picks. It's all Murloc and Elemental shit. I guess Shaman had a pretty solid core set. Chain Lightning's really good. The synergies are nice, but otherwise, this is pretty underwhelming. It's a 1.5 or a 2 for me. I don't think this is, like, gonna help Shaman tremendously. Like, what, I mean, you gonna rely on Firemans of Flurgle? I'm gonna say 2 just because a lot of the stat lines are kind of solid, you know? So I think that kind of saves it. Some decent AoE stuff. So Shaman can go up above, maybe below Hunter. We'll put it below Hunter, I think. 2 on the verge of 1.5. That's where Shaman is. All right, we're nearing the end. 2 more classes to go, chat. Altar of Fire, 1 mana, destroy the top 3 cards of each deck. -5. -5. The worst card I've seen yet today. This is unbelievable trash. You kind of like Shaman? Eh. I don't think the synergies will be strong enough. I kind of don't. Jeez, this is bad. Grimoire of the Sacrifice. 1 mana, destroy a friendly minion, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. You can make this work. Destroy a friendly minion will sometimes be really hard to accomplish. Ugh. I don't love this. 1.5? Because sometimes you can make a trade and then destroy the minion, right? We'll give it a 1.5. Hope that it'll be vaguely useful sometimes. 2 mana, 1/3, Apothecary's Caravan, one of these crappy ones. At the start of your turn, summon a 1-cost minion from your deck. Hate it. Imp Swarm. Summon a 3/2 Imp for 2 mana. Fine. Summon 2 Imps for the upgrade, and then it's summoned 3 3/2 Imps. So it doesn't summon bigger minions, it summons multiple 3/2s. It's a decent AoE. It's hard to destroy your own minions, though. Are these caravans meant to be memes? Yeah, I don't know what these are about. They seem a bit poopy. Poopy doopy. This is not one of the better ranked cards that I've seen. 2 mana for 2 3/2s is good. But at that stage in the game... Compare the caravans to dormant minions or studies. Yuck. Yeah, I agree with that. 2. I think it's a 2. Pickable. Bloodshart Bristleback. 3 mana 3/3 lifesteal battle cry. If your deck contains 10 or fewer cards, deals 6 damage to a minion. This is cool. It's, I think, a well-balanced card. 3 mana 3/3 is bad, but it has the lifesteal to make up for it, so it's still totally playable. And the upside, 6 damage to a minion, that's really good if you're drafting to go longer in the game. So I think I will give it barely a 3. Just barely a 3, I think. Yeah, Bloodshart Bristleback. You never had one of those? Cabal Outfitter, 3 mana 3/3. I like the colors on this one. 3 mana 3/3 Battlecry and Death Rattle. Give another random friendly minion +1/+1. Okay, this is a much better. I'm not remembering card names well today, but Sun Fury, whatever, the 3 mana 3/2 that buffs. This is just a much better version of that. I actually like this quite a bit, because as long as you have, even if you don't have another minion on board, you can shoot for the Death Rattle, right? So I actually like this one quite a bit. 3.5 for me. Tamsin Romy. 3 mana 1/3. Whenever you cast a shadow spell that costs 1 or more, add a copy to your hand that costs 0. There's so many cards like that in this set. So many cards that I don't really know how to rate, because I don't know how the offering rates are going to be, you know? Will we be able to consistently get shadow spells in our deck? For Warlock, probably. And so then this becomes like a diligent note taker. But better sometimes and worse other times. But I don't know, man. I don't know. 2.5 for the good upside? I don't know, man. The 3 mana 1/3, that's really bad. I'm going to leave it at 2. I'm going to call this one a 2. Soul Rent. That's what I have to pay every month. Soul Rent. Deal 5 damage to all minions for 4 mana. Destroy a card in your deck for each killed. Oh, that's fine. Destroy a card in your deck. Who cares? Who cares? So this is basically 4 mana, 5 damage AoE. That's really good. Oh my god. Wow, this is so good. They have Twisted Knowledge and... No, so not Twisted Knowledge. Whatever the roller coaster one is. And this. This is essentially a much better, like, Twisting Nether. I think this is a 5, chat. Warlock has some really tough tools to beat. Offering rates will matter a lot. Niru Fireblade, Battlecry, 5 mana 5/5 Battlecry. If your deck is empty, open a portal that fills your board with 3/2 imps each turn. If your deck is empty, well, that's not going to happen. So this is a 5 mana 5/5, which is like 1.5. Not really an arena card. Barrens Scavenger, 6 mana 6/6 taunt, cost 1 while your deck has 10 or fewer cards. Yeah, again, encouraging the long game with Warlock. It's pretty nice. 6 mana 6/6 taunt is not so bad in and of itself. We'll call this average. Okay, that's Warlock. Warlock has some solid stuff, but a bunch of just dookie. Dookie. Not dookie, but questionable. Mega dookie. I mean, this is mega dookie. This is dookie. This is fine. Fine. Good. Kind of dookie. Extremely good. Dookie. Dookie legendary. And like a fine card. I'm honestly going to give this a 1.5. I think Warrior got kind of screwed here. I'm sorry, Warlock. I think Warlock got kind of screwed here. Like, there's some good stuff. Like, this AoE almost makes up for it all. But I think I'm going to have to call this a 1.5. I think it's even worse than Hunter. The 10 or fewer mechanic makes Altar of Fire not trash all the time. No, I disagree. I don't think you can ever draft this, even if you're shooting for that. Maybe if you randomly generate it, you could use it for that. But I don't know. Warlock can go above Druid, I think, in the 1.5 terrain. Not a lot of... Yeah, look at that low card quality, huh? Last class, chat. Warrior. Now this will be interesting. Will Warrior get any help? Yeah, way more relevant and constructed. It's an interesting expansion because to me this expansion reads almost like a reset. They're saying we're going to tone down the ridiculous card quality. Like, right? I've barely given any 4.5s or 5s at all. They toned down the card quality, dug in on like synergy cards, and gave a lot of very particular like tech and tools. I feel like this is a kind of a reset expansion in an interesting way. The Warsong Envoy, 1 mana 1/3 Frenzy, gain +1 attack for each damaged character. So if you Whirlwind, this gains a ton of attack. And if you simply attack into another 1/3, it gains 2 attack, right? Because you're both damaged. It might gain 4 attack if the heroes are damaged already too, right? So this is a card that weirdly is good right away and kind of good in the middle game as well. And maybe even the late game. Yeah, totally decent 1-drop. I'll give it like a 3. I'll give it like a solid 3. Bulk up. 2 mana, spell. Give a random taunt minion in your hand +1/+1 and copy it. Warriors usually have taunts in their hand, but you can't rely on it. Copying a card's okay. The buffs, whatever. I don't love this. I don't love assuming that you're gonna have a taunt in hand in arena. But maybe it'll kill us pretty badly sometimes. Conditioning, rank 1, give minions in your hand +1/+1. Rank 2, +2/+2. Rank 3, +3/+3. Hand buff. Again, I'm not blown away by it. I'll give this one a 2, though. If you get the right hand, it could do some work. Ooh, cool art. Rokara. 3 mana 2/3 rush. After a friendly minion attacks and survives, give it +1/+1. So if you put this out on a pretty big board and you attack with everything else, you're just buffing everything. Including yourself, right? You're a friendly minion, the Rakara. It doesn't say other than this, right? I don't know. Yeah, almost like a BG mechanic. That's a good observation. Three mana 2/3 rush is not that good in and of itself, but if it survives, huh? I'm gonna call this average, and we'll see how it plays. Outrider's Axe, 4 mana 3/3 weapon. After your hero attacks and kills a minion, draw a card. Dope, good card drawing warrior. Dope, 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 dope on a rope. I like this a lot. Like as a stat line, only it's worse than a fiery war axe, but the card draw is really, really good in warrior. I like it. I think this is good. Ranker, 4 mana spell, deal 2 damage to all minions, gain 2 armor for each destroyed. Oh, cool. It's a whole board consecration with an upside of armor, so it's worse than Consec. Although it can proc frenzy things, right? That's part of the deal of it. The armor is a little meh. I'll give it an average score here. Whirling Combatant, 4 mana 2/6 Battlecry and Frenzy, deal 1 damage to all other minions. Ooh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. So this can mess up aggro pretty bad. It can also mess up your board sometimes. I want to say this is a 3. I think you can use this well. Morshan Elite, 5 mana 4/4 Taunt Battlecry. If your hero attacked this turn, summon a copy of this. If your hero attacked this turn, summon a copy of this. So you gotta have a lot of weapons in your deck. 5 mana 4/4 Taunt's not good. 5 mana 2/4 Taunts is really good. So if you can build a weapon deck, you can draft this. It's going to be entirely dependent on your draft. I need to ding it a few points for that reason, but the upside is super nice, actually. And in a pinch, you could play it sort of like the Pearl Tusk, naked. And it's copy, so if it gets hand buffed, the hand buff gets copied. For these reasons, I will say 3.5, contingent upon how frequently you can draft a lot of weapons. Question mark? Maybe that's a bit ambitious. Stone Mall Anchorman, 5 mana 4/5 rush, frenzy, draw a card. 5 mana 4/5 rush. This is okay. The card draw, like I said, is pretty important. The body is alright for a rush minion. I think I'll give this an average score. I think this is going to be good for warrior too. Overlord Sourfang, 7 mana 5/4 Battlecry, resurrect 2 friendly oh my god, a tongue twister for my last card. Resurrect 2 friendly frenzy minions, deal 1 damage to all other minions. All other minions? So not other minions than this, so the frenzy minions do get hit. Ouch, dude. Resurrect, so they have to have died. You have to have a lot of frenzy minions in your deck to draft this though, chat. For that reason, I think it's a 2. But if you get a frenzy deck, this is going to just absolutely destroy. It's going to dismantle the opponent. So this card reflects the ability to pull off the combo, not the strength of the combo. This card rating, rather. Okay. Looking at warrior in general. Some solid stuff. Some stuff you don't really want, like, bulk up necessarily. The Rakara's, like, yeah, it's just solid. It's just solid. It's all stuff that does stuff. which can't be said about all the classes. I really like the weapon. I like a serviceable minion like this that greases the wheels of the card draw. I like the upside of the Morshan. The Whirling Combatant's gonna make a lot of these combos sing. I think we can give Warrior... I think we can give it an above average score. Can we? Slightly above average, maybe? I do really like the axe. AoE. Let's give it a 3. We're gonna call Warrior... Oops. We're gonna call Warrior a 3. With the 481, the deadly shots. Oh my god, can you even imagine? Oh my god. What did we give Paladin? We gave Paladin a 3 as well. I think Warrior is worse than the Paladin that we saw. So here it is, chat. Our final tier list for the Forged in the Barrens cards. Mage is the only one that comes out looking really good with the expansion. Demon Hunters looked awful. Just doing some weird death rattle stuff. Druid's going to be in the tank in general, I think. They're going to have to get really micro-adjusted up. You think I'm sleeping on Chamois? I would maybe bump Chamois up here, but I wouldn't do much more than that. Mage OP? Yeah, I mean... Oh, shoot. Did we kill our other tier list? Okay, it's still here. Yeah, I mean... No, god damn it, that's this one. Well, we'll look back at the VOD. And recreate. But I think Mage got decent in both of them. Yeah, cool. Well, that's the card review. Thanks for joining me, chat, and viewers all. Enjoy the Forged in the Barrens meta that drops tomorrow. I'll try to post this on YouTube soon so that it's vaguely relevant, I guess. Looking forward to Paladin, Mage. Those are going to be the heavy hitters. I think the sentence ends there. I think those are the two classes that are going to get most of the help. Hey, Gary Glaive, thank you for those 500 bits. Really appreciate it. Cheers, Blobster. Been looking and excited for tomorrow. Nice. Look at that. That's Gary Glaive, 500 bits. It's peeking out behind all the things I set up, but yeah. Thanks, chat. Have fun in the new meta.